practicing medicine while traveling through Douluo, but a goddess secretly eavesdrops on my inner thoughts. Hey! Look who's back for more adventures. We love having you here to continue this story that keeps us all awake. Important note, all of this is pure fiction. So don't try any techniques you hear here in real life, your neighbor might call the cops. This amazing novel and all its rights belong to the original author. We're just the ones giving it voice and drama. Are you enjoying the show? Prove it by subscribing to our YouTube channel and leaving that like that motivates us so much. And if you want VIP access to exclusive content, our Patreon is waiting with things you won't find anywhere else. Chapter 76, Ning Rongrong was born early, and the netherworld cold poison. After a while, Long Xiaoyao and others followed Ning Fengzi and walked into the room of Ning Fengzi and his wife. This is a simple room. The materials of the house are all high-quality materials, but there are not many valuables. There are also many potted plants with various flowers blooming on them. The whole room looks very comfortable. Yao, I'm back with the Yao Lao from the Xian Chamber of Commerce. Your illness should be cured. Ning Fengzi immediately walked to the bedside, sat on the bedside, held his wife Wu Qinggao's pale hand, and said with a happy and expectant smile. Ning Fengzi felt that since Yao Lao came, Wu Qinggao should be able to be cured, otherwise, he wouldn't know what to do. Long Xiaoyao and others followed to the bedside and saw Wu Qinggao and a very cute-looking baby lying on Wu Qinggao's side. Wu Qinggao's facial features are very delicate, and you can tell at a glance that she is a first-class beauty. But at this moment, Wu Qinggao's face was pale and thin, her lips were white, her eyes were unfocused, and she looked very tired, which was very endearing. The baby's face was rosy and he looked very healthy. It turns out that Mrs. Ning was poisoned by the netherworld cold poison. No wonder Ning Fengzi, as the sect leader of the Qibao glazed sect, had found many doctors and healing soul masters but could not cure Mrs. Ning. Long Xiaoyao used his insightful eyes to see at a glance that Wu Qinggao had been poisoned by the netherworld cold poison. He knew why so many people couldn't figure out the cause of Wu Qinggao's illness, and they couldn't cure Wu Qinggao. Because nether cold toxin is a colorless and odorless chronic poison. After being integrated into the human body, it will invade the cells of various organs of the human body, slowly reducing the body's immunity, causing weakness of various organs, reduced functions, and ultimately pain died in it. Because it is colorless and odorless, and its symptoms are very similar to those of wind chill, and it does not appear in the blood, it is often misdiagnosed as wind chill. If Long Xiaoyao hadn't had the eye of insight, he wouldn't have been able to see the cold poison in Wu Qinggao's body at a glance. Who is so vicious? He actually used netherworld cold poison to poison Mrs. Ning. Long Xiaoyao could not imagine who was so vicious that he actually used netherworld cold poison to poison Wu Qinggao. This baby should be Ning Rongrong, right? Is this what Ning Rongrong looked like as a baby? It's quite cute. Noticing the baby next to Wu Qinggao, because Ning Fengzi only had one daughter, Long Xiaoyao guessed that the baby next to Wu Qinggao should be Ning Rongrong. But according to Dao Yi's original plot timeline, Ning Rongrong shouldn't have been born yet at this time, right? Why is it already so big? Long Xiaoyao also felt confused when he looked at Ning Rongrong, who should be about 6 months old. Could it be because of my arrival that Ning Rongrong's birth was advanced? Long Xiaoyao felt that his guess was probably correct, otherwise there would be no explanation at all. Very good. I hope Zhu Huqing and the others are also born. Long Xiaoyao smiled and at the same time prayed in his heart that Zhu Huqing and other goddesses would also be born. Otherwise, according to the timeline of the original plot, when Zhu Huqing and the others grow up, his children may be older than Zhu Huqing and the others. It would be a bit bad if he wants to attack Zhu Huqing and the others by then. Brother Zhi, cough cough cough, Wu Qinggao seemed to want to say something, but before she could say anything, she couldn't help but coughed and looked very painful. Yao, don't move or talk. Just lie down. Yao will definitely find the cause of your illness, and he will definitely be able to cure you. Ning Fengzi comforted Wu Qinggao and said, Yao, I'm sorry to trouble you. Immediately afterwards, Ning Fengzi said to Yao. Yao nodded confidently and walked to the bed. Mrs. Ning, I'm offended. After saying nothing, Yao began to feel Wu Qinggao's pulse in a formal manner, check Wu Qinggao's symptoms, and then began to think. He looked at Wu Qinggao and thought for a long time, but did not say anything. Yaosiki saw that Xiaolao didn't say anything for a long time, and suddenly felt bad in his heart. Because she has never seen Xiaolao not tell the cause of the disease for so long, the only possibility is that even Xiaolao did not see what kind of disease Wukan Xiao was suffering from. As a result, Yaosiki's plan to rely on Xiaolao to help Wukan Xiao cure his illness and take the opportunity to cooperate with the Kibao glazed sect was completely ruined. Xiaolao, how are you? Have you figured out what kind of disease Xiao is suffering from? Is there any way to cure it? Ning Fengzi asked Xiaolao worriedly and expectantly. Yaosiki, Yao Xiling, Chenzin and Gu Rong also looked at Xiaolao worriedly and expectantly. Long Xiaoyao looked at Xiaolao. He knew that there was a high probability that Xiaolao would not be able to tell that Wukan Xiao was suffering from the netherworld cold poison. He planned to speak out immediately once Xiaolao said he couldn't tell because Wukan Xiao's condition was already very serious. Biji and Ziji knew that the purpose of Long Xiaoyao's trip was to see the Kibao glazed sect's attitude towards him, and if possible, win over the Kibao glazed sect. They believed that Long Xiaoyao could see what disease Wukan Xiao was suffering from and had a way to cure it, so they all hoped that Xiaolao would not be able to see what disease Wukan Xiao was suffering from and how to treat Wukan Xiao. That way, Long Xiaoyao could tell Wukan Xiao what illness he was suffering from and treat Wukan Xiao. MRS. Ning's illness is very strange. It looks a lot like wind chill, but the symptoms are slightly different from the symptoms of wind chill. It's really confusing. I can't tell what disease Mrs. Ning is suffering from, Xiaolao said truthfully. What? When Ning Fengzi, Chenzin, Gurong, and Wukan Xiao heard Xiaolao's words, their hearts froze. Because Xiaolao was recognized as the #1 doctor in Douluo continent, if even Xiaolao couldn't tell what kind of disease Wukan Xiao was suffering from, they couldn't think of anyone else who could. Whoa. Ning Rongrong, who was still a baby on one side, seemed to understand Xiaolao's words and burst into tears. Ronger, ahem, Wukan Xiao wanted to comfort Ning Rongrong, but before she could touch Ning Rongrong, she started coughing violently. Xiaoer, leave Ronger to me, Ronger, don't cry. Mom will be fine. Wow, Ning Fengzi said quickly, immediately picked up Ning Rongrong and began to comfort her, but Ning Rongrong kept crying and couldn't stop at all. Xiaolao, is there no way to determine what disease madam is suffering from? Chenzin asked Xiaolao worriedly and expectantly. Ning Fengzi and Gu Rong also looked at Xiaolao expectantly. Now they could only place their hopes on Xiaolao. Yaosiki also looked at Xiaolao expectantly. As I expected, Mrs. Ning may have been poisoned by some kind of poison, Xiaolao expressed his guess. Poisoned, except for Long Xiaoyao and Biji, everyone was shocked when they heard Xiaolao's words. Although Biji did not have the same insight as Long Xiaoyao, as the strongest healing soul beast, she could still tell that Wukan Xiao was poisoned, but she did not see what kind of poison Wukan Xiao was poisoned. But Biji believed that Long Xiaoyao could see what kind of poison Wukan Xiao had been poisoned. Long Xiaoyao was not in a hurry, and there was no need for her to be in a hurry. Madam, she had been in the Kibao glazed sect before she fell ill. How could she be poisoned? Gurong said in disbelief, and Chenzin nodded. Xiaolao, what kind of poison did Xiaoer have? Is there any way to cure it? Ning Fengzi quickly asked Xiaolao. Compared with why Wukan Xiao was poisoned, Ning Fengzi was more concerned about whether Wukan Xiao could be killed. I don't know this yet. I need some of Mrs. Ning's blood for testing to determine what kind of poison Mrs. Ning was poisoned with, Xiaolao said directly. Ning Fengzi was very embarrassed because Wukan Xiao was now very weak and he was reluctant to let Wukan Xiao bleed. There is no need to test, Mrs. Ning is indeed poisoned. At this time, Long Xiaoyao said very confidently. Long Xiaoyao, except for Biji and Ziji, everyone who heard Long Xiaoyao's words were shocked. Chapter 77? Clearing out the nether cold poison. Chapter 77 Clearing out the nether cold poison. The poison in Mrs. Ning's body is called netherworld cold poison. Long Xiaoyao didn't show off and said directly. Netherworld cold poison. After hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, Biji, Ziji, Yaosiki, Yao Xiling, Ning Fengzi, Chenzin, Gurong and Wukan Xiao all had question marks on their faces. Because they have no research on medicine, they have never seen netherworld cold poison, and they have never heard of netherworld cold poison. Netherworld cold poison. When Xiaolao heard what Long Xiaoyao said, He was extremely shocked and felt very unbelievable. Master Long, what kind of poison is this netherworld cold poison? Seeing Yao Lao so shocked, Ning Fengzi asked Long Xiaoyao extremely worriedly. Netherworld cold poison is the most chronic poison in Douluo continent. It is colorless and odorless, and cannot be detected at all after it invades the human body, and the symptoms are very similar to those of wind chill, so people are often misdiagnosed as being infected with wind chill. Even after death, they are not discovered to have been infected by the netherworld cold poison. Before Long Xiaoyao could explain, Yao Lao took the lead in explaining. I see. After listening to Yao Lao's words, Ning Fengzi, Wu Kangayao, Chen Zhen and Gurong realized why they, as well as the doctors and healing soul masters they had called before, all said that Wu Kangayao was infected with wind cold but could not be cured. However, there is no antidote for this nether cold poison, nor is there any treatment method. There is nothing I can do. Please express my condolences, sect leader Ning, Sword Douluo, and Bone Douluo. Immediately afterwards, Yao Lao said with a helpless expression that he now did not know how to remove the netherworld cold poison from Wu Kangayao and could not cure Wu Kangayao. What? After hearing Yao Lao's words, Ning Fengzi, Wu Kangayao, Chen Zhen and Gurong suddenly felt extremely desperate. They felt that since Yao Lao said that Wu Kangayao was hopeless, then no one in the entire Douluo continent would be able to save Wu Kangayao. Yao Siki and Yao Xiling were also shocked. They had never seen even Yao Lao say there was no way, and they both felt that Wu Kangayao was hopeless. Wow, Ning Rongrong, who was in Ning Fengzi's arms, cried as if she understood Yao Lao's words. She cried even harder and kept waving her little hands around. Mr. Long, how did you see? Yao Lao turned to Long Xiaoyao. He just wanted to ask Long Xiaoyao how he could tell that Wu Kangayao had been poisoned by the netherworld cold poison. But Long Xiaoyao ignored Yao Lao and went directly to Ning Fengzi. Oh. Stop crying, it doesn't look good if you cry, don't worry, I have a way to cure your mother. Long Xiaoyao immediately came to Ning Fengzi, held Ning Rongrong's waving little hand, and comforted Ning Rongrong with a smile. For others, there may be no way to deal with the netherworld cold poison. But for Long Xiaoyao, it was a piece of cake. The doctor's kindness, coupled with the fact that Wu Kangayao is Ning Rongrong's mother, for Long Xiaoyao who wants everything, Wu Kangayao is one of the candidates for Long Xiaoyao's future mother-in-law. Therefore, regardless of reason or emotion, Long Xiaoyao would help Wu Kangayao remove the cold poison of the netherworld from his body. Moreover, Long Xiaoyao felt that if Wu Kangayao was around, Ning Rongrong's character would not be as spoiled, overbearing and unreasonable as in the original work, and would be much more likable. He was looking forward to the Ning Rongrong who would grow up in the future. What? Everyone was shocked because Yao Lao, the #1 doctor in Douluo continent, said that Wu Kangayao was hopeless, but Long Xiaoyao said that there was a way to cure Wu Kangayao. Moreover, it was Long Xiaoyao who said just now that Wu Kangayao was poisoned by netherworld cold poison, which meant that Long Xiaoyao's medical skills were far superior to Yao Lao's. And under Long Xiaoyao's comfort, Ning Rongrong actually stopped crying and stared at Long Xiaoyao with her big watery eyes, looking very cute. Master Long, do you really have a way to cure Yao? Ning Fengzi asked Long Xiaoyao excitedly, his eyes full of expectation. Because he didn't want Wu Kangayao to leave him, and he didn't want Ning Rongrong to lose her mother at such a young age. Wu Kangayao also looked at Long Xiaoyao expectantly. She didn't want to leave Ning Fengzi, and she didn't want to leave Ning Rongrong. Ning Rongrong had no mother at such a young age. She still had many things she wanted to give to Ning Rongrong. Chen Zhen and Gurong were also looking at Long Xiaoyao, their eyes full of expectation, hoping that Long Xiaoyao would find a way. Ning Fengzi was kind to them. They all knew how much Ning Fengzi loved Wu Kangayao. They didn't want Wu Kangayao to leave Ning Fengzi, and they didn't want Ning Rongrong to lose her mother at such a young age. Ning Rongrong, who was in Ning Fengzi's arms, was also staring at Long Xiaoyao with wide, watery eyes, as if begging Long Xiaoyao to cure Wu Kangayao. Yao Siki, Yao Xiling and Yao Lao all looked at Long Xiaoyao. They all didn't believe that Yao Lao said there was no way to cure Wu Kangayao, but Long Xiaoyao actually had a way. Especially Yao Lao, who considered himself to be the #1 doctor in Douluo continent. Even he couldn't do anything with nether cold poison. He felt that Long Xiaoyao had absolutely nothing to do. BG and ZG looked at Long Xiaoyao with admiration. They believed that Long Xiaoyao would definitely be able to cure Wukan Gaiao. Long Xiaoyao nodded affirmatively and let go of Ning Rongrong's little hand. Master Long, please save Yaoer. No matter what you want as reward, as long as I can get it, I will give it to you. Ning Fengzi quickly said that as long as he could cure Wukan Gaiao, he would do anything. We will discuss this later. For now, let me help Mrs. Ning get rid of the cold poison in the body. Mrs. Ning's condition is already quite serious, Long Xiaoyao said, then rolled up his sleeves, preparing to help Wukan Gaiao remove the cold poison from the nether world. Okay, what do you want me to prepare for you, Mr. Long? Ning Fengzi asked Long Xiaoyao excitedly. No need to prepare anything, I just want all of you to go out and wait and don't let anyone disturb me. Long Xiaoyao said directly that the method he used to help Wukan Gaiao get rid of the cold poison of the netherworld was very simple, just use devouring all things to devour it. However, because the netherworld cold poison in Wukan Gaiao's body has penetrated into every organ and every cell of Wukan Gaiao, it will take Long Xiaoyao a while to remove all the netherworld cold poison from Wukan Gaiao's body. It is good, everyone, please go out with me and wait. Ning Fengzi did not hesitate. He immediately called everyone out of the room. Master Long, I will leave Yaoer to you, Ning Fengzi told Long Xiaoyao. Don't worry, sect leader Ning, I will definitely remove the cold poison from Mrs. Ning's body, Long Xiaoyao said very confidently. Squeak. Immediately afterwards, Ning Fengzi hugged Ning Rongrong and walked out of the room. Chenzin and Gurong immediately helped close the door. Mrs. Ning, I'm offended, Long Xiaoyao first said to Wukan Gaiao. Nothing, please Mr. Long, ahem. Before Wukan Gaiao finished speaking, he started coughing. After Wukan Gaiao stopped coughing, Long Xiaoyao helped Wukan Gaiao up and sat down behind Wukan Gaiao. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao first used the Eye of Insight to find all the organ cells in Wukan Gaiao's body that contained the cold poison of the netherworld. Mrs. Ning, I'm about to start. It may be very itchy, so you have to bear it, Long Xiaoyao kindly reminded Wukan Gaiao. Wukan Gaiao nodded and got ready. Destroy all things, Long Xiaoyao pressed Wukan Gaiao's shoulder with his left hand and put his right hand on Wukan Gaiao's back. He directly injected his soul power into Wukan Gaiao's body in a gentle way, covering every organ and every cell. Then Long Xiaoyao directly used Devour All Things, and began to extract the cold poison from Wukan Gaiao's cells and swallow it directly. Yet, despite being prepared, Wukan Gaiao suddenly felt that every organ and cell in his body was itchy and comfortable. He couldn't help but make a blood-boiling sound, and his body began to dance uncontrollably. There were two blushes on Wukan Gaiao's pale face. She felt very shy because she had never shouted like this in front of anyone except Ning Fengzi. Mrs. Ning, don't move, otherwise I won't be able to remove the cold poison from your body, Long Xiaoyao reminded Wukan Gaiao. It is good, Wukan Gaiao replied, and then she controlled her body motionlessly to cooperate with Long, letting Long Xiaoyao help her remove the cold poison of the netherworld from her body. End of this chapter. Chapter 78 Generous Medical Points, Apology. More than 4 hours have passed, outside the room. Except for BG and ZG who were very relaxed, Ning Fengzi and others were waiting anxiously. Because BG and ZG were convinced that Long Xiaoyao could help Wukan Gaiao get rid of the nether cold poison, they had no worries at all. Ning Fengzi, Chenzin and Gurong couldn't help but become worried when they saw that more than 4 hours had passed. Yayosiki and Yayosiling were also worried about Wukan Gaiao's situation because too much time had passed. Yayolao was the most conflicted. He hoped that Long Xiaoyao could help Wukan Gaiao get rid of the netherworld cold poison, so that Wukan Gaiao would be fine. He might also be able to learn from Long Xiaoyao how to judge whether people are poisoned by the netherworld cold poison, and how to get rid of it. However, Yayolao does not hope that Long Xiaoyao can help Wukan Gaiao eliminate the nether cold poison. Otherwise he will completely lose to Long Xiaoyao in medical skills, and his title as the #1 doctor in Douluo continent will also be lost. Moreover, Long Xiaoyao may not be willing to tell him how to tell whether a patient is infected with wind chill or has been poisoned by nether cold. At the same time, inside the room, congratulations to the master for getting rid of a patient who was poisoned by netherworld cold poison. The netherworld cold poison in his body has gained 5,000 million god of medicine points. Long Xiaoyao had just finished clearing the cold poison from the underworld in Wuhun Hall's body, when a mechanical and melodious voice sounded in his mind, and he smiled. Because now every time he levels up, he needs 5,000 million medical points to exchange for a Douluo pill. He knew that according to the patient's strength and disease, after he cured the patient, the medical points he obtained would be different. The stronger the patient is and the more serious the disease, the more medical points he will gain after being cured. He had long used his insightful eyes to discover that Wuhun Hall was a level 81 Contra. He guessed that after helping Wuhun Hall eliminate the nether cold poison, he would get a lot of medical points, but he did not expect to directly get 5,000 million medical points. God ordered. In other words, he can now level up again and reach level 87. Long Xiaoyao did not rush to redeem the Douluo pill, but first helped Wuhun Hall lie down. Mrs. Ning, the cold poison in your body has been removed, and you will be fine. However, due to the long-term nether cold poison in your body, the various organs in your body have not recovered yet, and you need to rest for a while, Long Xiaoyao reminded Wuhun Hall. Okay, thank you Mr. Long. Wuhun Hall thanked Long Xiaoyao. She felt much better now, her complexion had returned to rosy, and she no longer coughed when she spoke. Sect Master Ning, you can come in. Long Xiaoyao stood up and shouted toward the door. Squeak. After hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, Chenzin and Gurong immediately opened the door. Ning Fengzi rushed in with Ning Rongrong in his arms, followed closely by the others. Yaoer, Ning Fengzi immediately came to the bedside and checked Wuhun Hall's condition. Chenzin, Gurong, Yao Siki, Yao Lao and Yao Siling also came to the bedside to check on Wuhun Hall's condition. Young Master Long, BG and ZG came to Long Xiaoyao. They believed that Long Xiaoyao had helped Wuhun Hall get rid of the nether cold poison. There was no need to look at him. They all stood respectfully beside Long Xiaoyao. Yaoer, how do you feel now? Are you okay? Ning Fengzi immediately asked Wuhun Hall with concern, while also observing Wuhun Hall's situation. Chenzin and Gurong were also looking at Wuhun Hall worriedly and expectantly. Well, I feel very comfortable now. I'm fine, thanks to Mr. Long, Wuhun Hall said with a smile. It could be seen that she was no longer in pain at all. Great, Ning Fengzi, Chenzin and Gurong were all very happy when they saw Wuhun Hall's appearance, and their worries were finally relieved. It's really cleared up. Yao Lao found that except for Wuhun Hall's relatively weak body, all the symptoms had disappeared. Even though it was impossible to tell whether the netherworld cold poison in Wuhun Hall's body had been eliminated, he felt that it should have been. He was extremely shocked. Yao Siki and Yao Siling on the side were also very shocked when they saw this. Mr. Long, I have an unkind request. Can you tell me how you saw the cold poison in Mrs. Ning's body? How did you remove the cold poison from Mrs. Ning's body? Yao Lele immediately came to Long Xiaoyao and asked Long Xiaoyao respectfully. His eyes were full of expectation and he had great respect for Long Xiaoyao. Yao Lao knew that since BG and ZG, two super Douluo level experts, were both Long Xiaoyao's girlfriends, Long Xiaoyao's strength must not be low. Moreover, Long Xiaoyao was able to tell that Wuhun Hall was carrying the netherworld cold poison with just one glance, and it only took him 4 hours to help Wuhun Hall get rid of the netherworld cold poison. This shows that Long Xiaoyao's accomplishments in medical skills are also far-reaching above him. Now Yao Lao has another request from Long Xiaoyao, so he respects Long Xiaoyao very much? Old guy, didn't you just say that you were the most powerful doctor in Douluo continent? Are you saying that Mr. Long is definitely not as good as you in terms of medical skills? Why are you asking Mr. Long now? Before Long Xiaoyao could answer Yao Lao's question, ZG asked Yao Lao Dao with a look of disdain. ZG is straightforward, outspoken, and very vindictive. She clearly remembers Yao Lao's attitude towards Long Xiaoyao just now, so she hates Yao Lao very much. She knew that the reason why Yao Lao respected Long Xiaoyao so much now was because she had just shown her cultivation strength and Long Xiaoyao had shown superb medical skills. Long Xiaoyao just watched from the side and said nothing. Because although he can understand why Yao Lao's attitude towards him has changed so much, he doesn't like people like Yao Lao very much. Although he knew that it was rude for ZG to talk about Yao Lao like this, he did not say anything about ZG. It was impossible for him to talk to ZG, a member of his own family who spoke for him, for the sake of Yao Lao, an outsider. That would be too chilling for ZG. Mr. Long, Miss ZG, Miss BG, I was blind just now. I know I was wrong. I hereby solemnly apologize to you. I'm sorry, and please forgive me, Yao Lao said sincerely, and then bowed his head directly to Long Xiaoyao. Although Yao Lao was arrogant, he was not a fool and knew who should not be offended. Yao Lao knew that Biji and Ziji were both super Douluo level experts, and that Long Xiaoyao might also be a superpower, and that Long Xiaoyao was a much more powerful doctor than him. He knew that he would never offend Long Xiaoyao, Brigitte and Ziji. Yao Lao now admires Yaosiki very much. He knows that Yaosiki must have seen the extraordinary qualities of Long Xiaoyao, Biji and Ziji, so he took the initiative to make friends with Long Xiaoyao and win over Long Xiaoyao and others. Yao Lao knew that the Yao family could not offend Long Xiaoyao and the others, otherwise just one ZG could destroy the Yao family. That's why Yao Lao took the initiative to bow his head to Long Xiaoyao, BG and ZG. Mr. Long, Miss ZG, Miss BG, I also know that I was wrong. I shouldn't have said those words just now. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Yao Xiling also immediately came to Long Xiaoyao, BG and ZG, followed Yao Lao, and bowed his head to Long Xiaoyao and the others. Although Yao Xiling is a bit dandy, he is not a fool and can understand not to offend Long Xiaoyao and the others. Master Long, please forgive Yao Lao and my brother, Yaosiki begged Long Xiaoyao, looking at Long Xiaoyao expectantly, hoping that Long Xiaoyao could forgive Yao Lao and Yao Xiling. She knew that if Long Xiaoyao forgave Yao Lao and Yao Xiling, it would mean that Long Xiaoyao was willing to be friends with her and the Yao family. This is definitely a great thing for her and the pharmacist. End of this chapter. Chapter 79 Desert Eagle, Barrett, Grenade. Miss Yao, don't worry so much. We didn't take what happened just now to heart, Long Xiaoyao smiled and said to Yaosiki. Those who make big things don't stick to the small details. Long Xiaoyao knew that if he wanted to destroy Wuhun Palace, Haoshan sect and Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon family, and unify Douluo continent, he would need to form his own force. In addition to strong strength, forming a force also requires a large amount of money and sufficient resources. The most important thing is to have good talents. Long Xiaoyao saw that Yaosiki was a smart man, and with Yaosiki's identity, he would definitely use Yaosiki in many places in the future, so of course he wouldn't take what happened just now to heart. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's words and seeing Long Xiaoyao's smile, Yaosiki saw that Long Xiaoyao really didn't take what happened just to heart. He breathed a sigh of relief and smiled. Seeing that Long Xiaoyao had already said this, ZG said nothing more. Mr. Yao, Mr. Yao, please raise your heads. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao said to Yao Lao and Yao Xiling. Thank you Mr. Long, Yao Lao and Yao Xiling said at the same time, and then raised their heads. Actually, it's not easy to tell whether the patient has been infected by the nether cold poison or the wind cold, but it's not too difficult. Wind chill is mainly a serious respiratory disease caused by cold, which in turn leads to a decrease in immunity, making it easier to contract colds, fever and other symptoms. The nether cold toxin causes the whole body's systems, organs, and cells to be invaded and become weak in function, which in turn leads to a decrease in immunity. It is more susceptible to colds and fevers than wind cold and causes symptoms such as colds and fevers. The difference in the symptoms between the two is not too big. The biggest difference is that patients infected with wind cold will cough up phlegm, while patients infected with nether cold poison usually have dry cough, and the symptoms are much worse than those of patients with cold. The wind chill is even worse. Another point is that soul masters, especially powerful soul masters, unless they are seriously injured, it is basically impossible to catch the cold, Long Xiaoyao directly explained to the drug addict. I see, everyone nodded when they heard Long Xiaoyao's words. But even Yao Lao only seemed to understand, but also seemed not to understand. It's not their fault, because many of the medical terms Long Xiaoyao said are not available in Douluo continent today. As for how to remove the netherworld cold poison, it's useless even if I say it, because no one else in the entire Douluo continent can remove the netherworld cold poison that has penetrated into the human body except me. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao said to Yao Liao again. Thank you Mr. Long for informing me. After hearing what Long Xiaoyao said, Yao Lao didn't ask Long Xiaoyao any more questions. Others were shocked when they heard Long Xiaoyao's words. Because according to Long Xiaoyao, if you are poisoned by the netherworld cold poison, there is no other way but to ask Long Xiaoyao to detoxify. Master Long, thank you very much for helping Yao remove the cold poison from the netherworld in her body. Ning Fengzi came to Long Xiaoyao and said gratefully. Chen Xin, Gu Rong, and Wu Kangayao, who was sitting on the bed with Ning Rongrong in his arms, were also particularly grateful to Long Xiaoyao. They knew that if it weren't for Long Xiaoyao, Wu Kangayao would be hopeless. Congratulations to the owner for being grateful to Chen Xin, Gu Rong, Wu Kangayao and Ning Fengzi for getting a villa at this moment. A mechanical yet pleasant voice sounded in Long Xiaoyao's mind. Villa. It's really great. Hearing the voice in his head, Long Xiaoyao smiled. Long Xiaoyao knew that the rewards of the God of Medicine system had always been very good, and the villa this time would definitely be large, comfortable, and have everything you need. It happened that he recently felt that the previous small house was a bit too small. It was not enough to accommodate him, Ah Yin, Bibi Dong, Yuena, Biji, Ziji, and three-eyed Jinli. This time he could just change to a bigger one. Tell me, what do you want in return? As long as I can give it to you, I can give it to you. Ning Fengzi then asked Long Xiaoyao. Let's not talk about rewards for now. I don't have anything I want right now, and what I want, sect leader Ning can't give me now. Let's talk about it later, Long Xiaoyao said with a smile. When Ning Fengzi heard Long Xiaoyao's words and looked at Long Xiaoyao's smile, he had a bad feeling in his heart, as if Long Xiaoyao would take away something very important from him, but he didn't know what it was or what it was. Why? Okay, Mr. Long will think of mentioning it to me in the future, and I will try my best to satisfy you, Ning Fengzi said with a smile. He felt that he must be worrying too much. Long Xiaoyao kindly helped Wu Kangayao remove the nether cold poison. How could he take away his important things? Okay, definitely, Long Xiaoyao showed a bright smile. Sect Master Ning, I wonder if you can find a place where no one is around to talk to me, Biji, and Ziji alone. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao smiled and asked Ning Fengzi. It is good, Ning Fengzi nodded. He didn't feel that Long Xiaoyao had any malicious intent, and Long Xiaoyao had just saved Wu Kangayao. How could he refuse Long Xiaoyao's request? Uncle Jian, Uncle Bone, you take all the distinguished guests from the Xian Chamber of Commerce to the living room to entertain them, while I go to discuss something with young Master Long, Ning Fengzi said to Chen Xin and Gu Rong. Yes, Sect Master, Chen Xin and Gu Rong replied respectfully that they believed Long Xiaoyao, Biji and Ziji would not harm Ning Fengzi. Wait a minute, Sect Master Ning, young Master Long, since Mrs. Ning is fine, and Mr. Long has also met Sect Leader Ning, I believe nothing will happen to the little girl, so we will leave first. Yaosiki came to Ning Fengzi and Long Xiaoyao and said with a smile. Although Yaosiki really wanted to get involved with Ning Fengzi and Long Xiaoyao, she felt that she could not bring any benefits to Long Xiaoyao and Ning Fengzi now. If she stayed shamelessly, she would only make Long Xiaoyao and Ning Fengzi disgusted. It would be better to leave directly, so that she would still be friends with Long Xiaoyao and Ning Fengzi. Miss Yao, please wait a moment. Please come with us. I have something to do with you, and I believe Sect Master Ning will also have something to do with you later, Long Xiaoyao immediately said with a very sure smile. Yaosiki was the talent he liked, how could he let Yaosiki leave like this? It is good, Yaosiki nodded without hesitation. She was very curious as to why Long Xiaoyao had something to do with her. Why was Long Xiaoyao so sure that Ning Fengzi would also have something to do with her? But she felt that this was her chance to change her destiny, and she had to seize it. Sword Douluo, Bone Douluo, please come together. I need you to take a test later. Long Xiaoyao smiled again and said to Chen Xin and Gu Rong. It is good, Chen Xin and Gu Rong nodded without hesitation. They happened to be a little worried about leaving Ning Fengzi alone. Yao Lao, brother, you go to our Xian Chamber of Commerce branch first. I will go back by myself later, Yaosiki said to Yao Lao, and Yao Xiling that she understood what Long Xiaoyao meant, so she directly asked Yao Lao and Yao Xiling to go back first. Okay, Yao Lao also understood what Long Xiaoyao meant, nodded directly, and left with Yao Xiling first. Sect Master Ning, please, Long Xiaoyao smiled and said to Ning Fengzi. Please, Ning Fengzi didn't say much. He also wanted to see why Long Xiaoyao was looking for him, and why he was so sure that he would also look for Yaosiki to cause trouble. What is this? In a huge secret room, Biji, Ziji, Yao Xiling, Ning Fengzi, Chen Xin, and Gu Rong looked at the Desert Eagle, a Barrett, and a handful that Long Xiaoyao took out. The grenade, with a question mark on his face, he had never seen such a strange thing before. The Desert Eagle, Barrett, and grenades were rewards that Long Xiaoyao had received a long time ago, and of course the production methods were also included. However, in the first 5 years before meeting Ah Yin, Long Xiaoyao had been practicing medicine and developing and had no enemies. But now, his strength can no longer use these weapons, so he has long forgotten these weapons. Chapter 80 talking about cooperation. Are you Long Xiaoyao? This is a pistol Desert Eagle, this is Sniper Barrett, this is a grenade. Long Xiaoyao introduced directly because he wanted to win over Yaosiki and the Kibao glazed sect. He knew that Douluo continent did not have these weapons now. If Yaosiki found someone to produce them for him, he could not only win over Yaosiki, but also get a lot of income. Moreover, he knew that the fighting power of the Kibao glazed sect was generally weak. These weapons could be used by the people of the Kibao glazed sect to defend themselves. Ning Fengzi would not miss them. He could also use them to win over the people of the Kibao glazed sect, killing 3 birds with 1 stone. Pistol Desert Eagle, Sniper Barrett, Grenade, what are these things for? When everyone heard this, they were even more confused. They had never heard of these thermal weapons. Simply put, these are thermal weapons that are not only powerful but also very easy to use. Without further ado, let me demonstrate them to you, so you will know what they are used for. Long Xiaoyao didn't say much nonsense and directly picked up the Desert Eagle. Click. Long Xiaoyao immediately loaded the gun and aimed a shot at the table in the distance. Snapped, boom. There was a gunshot, and the bullet was fired directly from the muzzle, directly piercing the table and hitting the ground, leaving a large crater and raising a puff of smoke. Everyone was startled when they heard the sudden gunfire. It's actually so fast, it's so powerful. Everyone was shocked when they looked at the table with a hole punched through it and the crater on the ground. None of them expected that the bullets fired by the Desert Eagle were not only so fast, but also so powerful, far exceeding the speed and power of bows and arrows. With such a fast speed and such great power, even a defensive soul master at the soul sect level would probably have a hard time resisting it, Chen Xin said in shock but certainty. Everyone nodded after hearing Chen Xin's words. The characteristics of the Desert Eagle are that it is small and convenient, and can be carried around. The magazine capacity is 9 rounds, which means it can hold 9 rounds of bullets and can fire 9 rounds. Clap, Long Xiaoyao explained, and also directly demonstrated, firing out all the remaining 8 bullets, and 8 more large craters appeared on the ground instantly. What? Everyone was even more shocked when they heard 8 consecutive gunshots and saw 8 more craters appearing on the ground. They never expected that the Desert Eagle could fire 8 rounds in a row without any reduction in speed and power. They know that if this is used in battle, it will definitely make the enemy unable to guard against it. The disadvantage of the Desert Eagle is that it has a short range. Once the distance is far away, its power is somewhat insufficient, and it is also easy to dodge. After talking about the shortcomings of the Desert Eagle, Long Xiaoyao put down the Desert Eagle and picked up Barrett. The characteristics of the sniper rifle Barrett are its long range, huge power, and huge penetration. Click. After Long Xiaoyao finished speaking, he loaded the gun and pointed it directly at a pillar in the distance. Boom. Then, there was a gunshot and a bullet was shot out quickly. Boom, boom. Immediately afterwards, 2 explosions were heard one after another on the pillar and the wall far away from the pillar. A large hole was directly punched through the pillar, which was much larger than the crater made by the Desert Eagle. A large hole was punched directly through the wall, as big as the hole in the pillar. The bullet went straight through the wall and flew out of the secret room. What? Everyone was even more shocked when they saw this scene. Especially Ning Fengzi, Chen Xin and Gu Rong. They knew that this secret room was specially built for cultivation, and both the pillars and the walls were very hard. But Long Xiaoyao just shot with Barrett and penetrated the pillar and the wall directly. With such a huge power, even the Soul Emperor with extremely high defense might not be able to block this shot if he is not fully prepared, Chen Xin said with certainty. Everyone nodded after hearing Chen Xin's words. The disadvantages of Barrett are that it is bulky, has strong recoil, and is loud. Although it can hold 5 bullets, it cannot fire 5 consecutive rounds, Long Xiaoyao explained, then put down Barrett and picked up the grenade. The characteristics of the grenade are its high power and wide range. The disadvantage is that it is slow and it takes a certain amount of time to wait for it to explode. After explaining, Long Xiaoyao directly pulled the fuse of the grenade and threw the grenade impartially to the big hole in the far wall. Cover your ears now. Long Xiaoyao turned around, faced everyone, and reminded kindly. Everyone covered their ears without any suspicion. Boom. Immediately afterwards, a huge explosion sounded, and the ground trembled. The wall was directly blown to pieces, and a large hole with a diameter of about 3 meters was blown out, sending up a large wave of smoke and dust. This is too powerful. Everyone looked at the big hole in the wall and were extremely shocked. I'm afraid even an average soul master at the soul saint level can't withstand this power, Chen Zin said again in shock but certainty. Everyone also nodded. Mr. Long, you give me a price. No matter how many Desert Eagles, Barretts and grenades you have, I want them all. Ning Fengzi said directly to Long Xiaoyao that after seeing the power of Desert Eagle, Barrett and grenades, he figured out that Long Xiaoyao wanted to do business with him. Ning Fengzi knew that the Desert Eagle, Barrett and grenades were excellent self-defense weapons for their direct disciples of the Kibao Glazed sect. In addition, Long Xiaoyao had just rescued Wuhun Hall. No matter what Long Xiaoyao's price was, he would never give up. Not counter-offer. Sect Master Ning, I'm sorry, I only have this set at the moment, and I can't sell it to you, Long Xiaoyao said apologetically, because the medical god system rewarded him with a Desert Eagle, a Barrett, and a grenade. Hearing this, Ning Fengzi felt a little disappointed. But the reason why I came to sect leader Ning and Miss Yao is to discuss cooperation and solve this problem. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao said again. Hearing this, Yao Siki and Ning Fengzi both looked at Long Xiaoyao expectantly, wanting to see how Long Xiaoyao would discuss cooperation. Miss Yao, Xian Chamber of Commerce should have blacksmiths who make weapons, armors and other iron items, right? Long Xiaoyao asked about the medicine and thought about it. Yao Siki nodded. Xian Chamber of Commerce is the largest chamber of commerce in Douluo continent, how could it not have its own blacksmith? Well, I can tell Miss Yao about the Desert Eagle, Barrett and their bullets, as well as the manufacturing and assembly methods of grenades, and Miss Yao will find someone to help me produce and assemble them. Then Ms. Xiao will double the price based on the production cost and sell it to Sect Master Ning. For every set sold, I will take, % of the net profit. I wonder if you are willing, Long Xiaoyao said directly. It is good, Ning Fengzi answered directly without even thinking that he would pay any price as long as it could improve the survival rate of his Kibao Glazed sect disciples. Master Long, you told me the production and assembly methods. Isn't it too little to take only, %? Yao Siki asked Long Xiaoyao embarrassedly. As the eldest lady of the Yao family, she knew how valuable this production and assembly method was. She really felt that Long Xiaoyao's only taking away, % was too little. That's enough. After all, apart from the cost price, you still have to pay the blacksmith, the people who move the materials, and other people, don't you? I can't let you work in vain, and I will have many things that will trouble Miss Yao in the future, Long Xiaoyao said with a smile. It is good. After hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, Yao Siki immediately agreed. She knew that her previous feeling was correct and that her chance to change her destiny had come. I believe you are all very curious about who I am. Since we are partners now, in order to show my sincerity, I will no longer hide it from you, As soon as Long Xiaoyao finished speaking, he immediately lifted the illusion and returned to his true self. Long Xiaoyao, you are actually Long Xiaoyao? Yao Siki, Ning Fengzi, Chen Zin and Gurong were all shocked when they saw Long Xiaoyao's changed appearance, and the appearance of Long Xiaoyao. End of this chapter. Chapter 81, Entering the Rose Hotel Again, a 3-player game. Chapter 81, Entering the Rose Hotel Again, a 3-person game. Long Xiaoyao, Mr. Long, that's it. After thinking about the medicine, Ning Fengzi thought of why Long Xiaoyao called himself Young Master Long. Mr. Long is so handsome. He's even more handsome than the one on the Wuhan Palace bounty order. After seeing Long Xiaoyao himself, Yao Siki felt that Long Xiaoyao was much more handsome than the bounty issued by Wuhan Palace. Especially the aura of Long Xiaoyao was so attractive that she was a little fascinated by Long Xiaoyao. How about it, after knowing that I am Long Xiaoyao, do you still dare to cooperate with me? Long Xiaoyao asked Yao Siki and Ning Fengzi with a smile. He knew that the most important thing in doing business was integrity. If Yaosiki and Ningfengzi didn't dare to cooperate with him because they were afraid of Wuhun Palace, there would be no need for him to cooperate with them. However, he believed that Ningfengzi and Yaosiki would figure out that it would be better to cooperate with him than with Wuhun Palace. Of course, I'll cooperate with you, Ningfengzi nodded affirmatively. Due to love, Long Xiaoyao had just rescued Wu Qingyao and was kind to Ningfengzi. Yu Li, Long Xiaoyao's Desert Eagle, Barret and grenades are all weapons that the Qibao glazed sect disciples need very much. Moreover, Ningfengzi knew that Wuhun Palace was ambitious and had always wanted to annex the Qibao glazed sect. If it weren't for the Haoshan sect, the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus family, and the two great empires, Wuhun Palace would have already started to annex the Qibao glazed sect. Therefore, both emotionally and rationally, Ningfengzi should cooperate with Long Xiaoyao. This, Yaosiki thought about it. After all, she was the eldest lady of the Yao family, and Wuhun Palace was recognized as the strongest force in Douluo continent. She was weighing whether it was better to cooperate with Long Xiaoyao or Wuhun Palace. Okay, I'll work with you, Yaosiki thought about it again and nodded. Yaosiki knew that Wuhun Palace was ambitious and had been infiltrating manpower into Xi'an Chamber of Commerce in order to control Xi'an Chamber of Commerce. Wuhun Palace also treated other chambers of commerce in the same way. She knew that if this continued, Xi'an Chamber of Commerce would fall into the hands of Wuhun Palace sooner or later, and the Yao family would become a puppet of Wuhun Palace sooner or later. A few days ago, Long Xiaoyao not only seriously injured Jin's Unji, but also escaped from Jin Daoliu's eyes. But now, Long Xiaoyao brought BG and ZG, two Super Douluo level experts, to appear here. Yaosiki guessed that the power behind Long Xiaoyao was definitely not simple. She knew that this was a great opportunity for her to change her destiny and the fate of the Yao family. If she missed it, there would be no second chance, so she chose to cooperate with Long Xiaoyao. Okay, ha ha ha, Long Xiaoyao laughed directly, and he knew that he had seen the right person. Biji and Ziji saw Long Xiaoyao smiling, and they also smiled. They were happy for Long Xiaoyao. Mr. Long, can I ask you a question? Ningfengzi asked Long Xiaoyao. Sect Master Ning, please speak directly. The Wuhun Palace said that you injured Jin's Unji in order to snatch away the holy maiden Bibi Dong from the Wuhun Palace. I don't think it's credible. I wonder what the truth is, Ningfengzi asked directly. He felt that Long Xiaoyao was not an impulsive person, and he would not have injured Jin's Unji and offended the Spirit Hall in order to snatch Bibi Dong away. Hearing Ningfengzi's question, Yaosiki, Chenzin and Gu Rong all looked at Long Xiaoyao curiously. They felt the same as Ningfengzi. Actually, Long Xiaoyao did not hide anything and directly told the truth of the matter, as well as his current relationship with Bibi Dong. He also revealed that the reason why he cooperated with Ningfengzi and Yaosiki was to accumulate strength for prepare to eliminate Wuhun Palace in the future. I see, the Wuhun Palace is so abominable, I didn't expect Bibi Dong's life experience to be so tragic. Mr. Long really values love and justice. For Bibi Dong, he would not hesitate to become the enemy of Wuhun Palace. After listening to Long Xiaoyao's explanation, Yaosiki, Ningfengzi, Chenzin and Gurong were all shocked, and they all admired Long Xiaoyao's courage. BG, ZG and Yaosiki were somewhat envious of Bibi Dong, envied that Bibi Dong could meet Long Xiaoyao, and envied Bibi Dong for being able to make Long Xiaoyao work so hard for her. Master Long, if there is any use for the Seven Treasures Glazed sect in the future, please feel free to speak up. The Seven Treasures Glazed sect will definitely be on your side, Ningfengzi said affirmatively, directly expressing his attitude. And I, Mr. Long, if you are of any use to me in the future, please feel free to ask, I will definitely be obliged to do so, Yaosiki also said, and she directly expressed her attitude. Okay, definitely, Long Xiaoyao nodded, and then directly took out the detailed drawings engraved with the Desert Eagle, Barret, and its bullets, as well as the production and assembly methods of grenades, and explained them to Shusuke one by one. He handed Yaosiki. Then Long Xiaoyao told Yaosiki to find trustworthy people, and to use different people for production and assembly to prevent data leakage and allow others to produce these thermal weapons. At the same time, Long Xiaoyao also asked Yaosiki Desert Eagle. After the production of Barret and grenades, he would first sell them only to the Qibao glazed sect, and let him decide who to sell them to later. Yaosiki understood why Long Xiaoyao gave such instructions, and she agreed one by one. Later, At the invitation of Ning Fengzi, Long Xiaoyao turned into an ordinary person again and took Bg, Ziji, and Yao Siki to have a sumptuous meal with Ning Fengzi, Chen Zin and Gu Rong dinner. During dinner, Ning Fengzi had already sent to investigate who poisoned Wu Qingyao, and caught the person who poisoned Wu Qingyao. Everyone also knew that it was the people from Wuhun Palace who poisoned Wu Qingyao, but why they poisoned Wu Qingyao, the people who poisoned Wu Qingyao didn't know either. However, after knowing the truth about Bibi Dong, everyone agreed that Wuhun Palace probably wanted to kill Wu Qingyao first, then Ning Fengzi, then destroy the Qibao glazed sect, and then control Ning Rongrong just like they controlled Bibi Dong. However, there is no way to know whether this guess is correct. After dinner, Long Xiaoyao wrote a prescription for Wu Qingyao to quickly recover and gave it to Ning Fengzi. After saying goodbye to Ning Fengzi, he took Bg and Ziji and escorted Yao Siki to the Xian Chamber of Commerce branch. Master Long, Miss Bridget, Miss Ziji, it's getting late now. You can stay at the Rose Hotel of our Xian Chamber of Commerce. I'll cover the cost of your accommodation tonight, so I can give you your exclusive VIP card for our Xian Chamber of Commerce tomorrow, at the entrance of the Xian Chamber of Commerce branch, which is also the entrance of the Rose Hotel. Siki saw that it was getting late, so he suggested to Long Xiaoyao and Bg, Ziji said. That's fine, Ms. Xiaoyao spent a lot of money. Long Xiaoyao did not refuse, and said with a smile, taking Bg, Ziji, and Yao Siki into the Rose Hotel. Miss, seeing Yao Siki, the waiter at the front desk saluted Yao Siki respectfully. Master Long, Miss Bridget, Miss Ziji, how many rooms do you need? Yao Siki asked. It's enough to open one room. We will also play an exciting three-person game later. Without asking Bg and Ziji for their opinions, Long Xiaoyao said with a positive smile. Long Xiaoyao wanted them all. How could he let go of such a good opportunity to deepen his relationship with Bg and Ziji? Three-player game. Is it? When Bg and Ziji heard Long Xiaoyao's words, they thought Long Xiaoyao was referring to the three-person game he played with Ah Yin and Bibi Dong in the room. They were so nervous that they couldn't help but close their legs together, their heartbeats accelerated, and their pretty faces turned red stand up. However, they also had some expectations in their hearts and did not object because they felt that Long and the others were already Long Xiaoyao's women. How could they refuse Long Xiaoyao? They nodded slightly, indicating their tacit agreement. Three-player game. Yao Siki also felt that the three-person game Long Xiaoyao was talking about was referring to that aspect, and her pretty face turned slightly red. She did not expect that Long Xiaoyao was so good at playing. Three-player game. The waiter at the front desk and the people around were also shocked. Help young Master Long and the others open the best room. Yao Siki quickly turned around and said to the waiter. Oh yes, the waiter nodded and started recording. Afterwards, Yao Siki asked the waiter to take Long Xiaoyao, Bg, and Ziji to the room, while she went to help Long Xiaoyao register for the VIP card of Xian Chamber of Commerce. Everyone voted, having a room with Brigitte and Ziji. Do you want to push down Brigitte and Ziji directly, or do you want to talk about it later? Support direct pushdown and deduction, support 2 deductions later. End of this chapter. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 82, an exciting 3-player game. Question mark? Is this the 3-person game you're talking about? In the best room of the Rose Hotel, Ziji looked at Long Xiaoyao, who had lifted the illusion and returned to his true colors. Looking at the deck of playing cards that Long Xiaoyao put on the table, her eyes widened and she asked Long Xiaoyao in shock. Ziji was a little speechless. She always thought that the 3-person game Long Xiaoyao was talking about was the kind of strenuous exercise game that Long Xiaoyao played with Ah Yin and Bibi Dong in the room. Unexpectedly, Long Xiaoyao said it was landlords she had never heard of, and also took out a deck of playing cards she had never seen before. Ziji was a little disappointed. Although the incident happened suddenly and she was very nervous and shy, she still looked forward to playing the 3-person game with Long Xiaoyao and Ziji. She thought it would be fun, otherwise Ah Yin and Bibi Dong wouldn't be so comfortable. But she never expected that Long Xiaoyao was actually talking about landlords. As soon as she looked at the playing cards, she knew that this could not be a strenuous exercise, and she knew that her expectation was in vain. Aren't Sister BG and I inferior to Yin and Bibi Dong? ZG is inexplicably angry now. She feels that Long Xiaoyao must think that she and BG are not as good as Yin and Bibi Dong, so he doesn't want to play the three-person game with her and BG, but wants to play with him. Fighting against landlords. This, BG next to ZG was so shocked that her eyes widened, and she didn't know what to say for a while. BG was also a little disappointed. Like ZG, although she was a little nervous and shy, she was also looking forward to playing a three-person game with Long Xiaoyao and ZG, like the three-person game that Long Xiaoyao played with Yin and Bibi Dong. She was also very curious about why Yin and Bibi Dong screamed so comfortably. She never expected that the three-person game Long Xiaoyao was talking about was actually Landlord. But BG was also a little lucky and relieved. After all, she had never played that kind of game with anyone. When she was asked to play a three-person game with Long Xiaoyao and ZG, she was still very nervous and shy. Of course, otherwise what do you think I'm talking about? Is it about playing mahjong? Long Xiaoyao asked BG and ZG in confusion. He remembered that when they played mahjong the night before yesterday, BG, ZG and Three-Eyed Jinni were just watching from the side with envy. He thought BG, ZG and I want to play mahjong. Yes. We thought you were talking about playing mahjong. BG quickly smiled and nodded. She didn't want Long Xiaoyao to find out that she thought Long Xiaoyao was talking about that kind of three-person game, otherwise she would die of embarrassment. Humph, ZG snorted angrily. She really felt that Long Xiaoyao thought that she and BG were not as good as Yin and Bibi Dong, so he chose to play landlords with him. Now she felt very angry and a little envious of Yin and Bibi Dong. It takes 4 people to play mahjong to make it fun, and there are only 3 of us. We need exactly 3 people to play landlords, so I want you to play landlords. Don't worry, I guarantee that playing landlord will be as fun as playing mahjong. Long Xiaoyao smiled and assured that he thought BG and ZG wanted to play mahjong, so BG and ZG were disappointed. And ZG was angry because of it. It's not that he doesn't want to play the strenuous 3-person game with Brigitte and ZG, but he doesn't know that Brigitte and ZG have agreed to become his women. Otherwise, why would he play landlord? Long Xiaoyao wanted to enhance his relationship with BG and ZG by playing landlords with BG and ZG. After all, he wanted BG and ZG to like him and make them willing. Otherwise, if he were to force himself, it would be against his principles, and what would be the difference between him and an animal? Yes, after hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, Bibi became a little bit excited. She had been wanting to play mahjong with Long Xiaoyao, Ah Yin, Bibi Dong and Yuena since she saw him last night. Bibi felt that since she was no longer playing a 3-person game with Long Xiaoyao, it was not impossible to play landlord, which was as fun as playing mahjong. Oh, ZG also became interested. Like Brigitte, she also wanted to play mahjong. Since it is no longer a 3-person game, playing landlord with Long Xiaoyao and Brigitte is as fun as playing mahjong. It's not impossible. Come on, let me tell you the rules, Shumzi. I only have 4 cards left. An hour later, Long Xiaoyao threw another 80-90 JQKA, showed a proud smile, and reminded BG and ZG. No, BG looked at the 4 cards in Long Xiaoyao's hand, looked at the 3 7s and 2 2s that Long Xiaoyao had thrown before, and looked at Long Xiaoyao's smile. She thought about it again and again, but decided not to. I'm sorry, ZG said helplessly that the cards in her hand were too bad and she couldn't afford them. 3 belts and 1, I'm done. Long Xiaoyao directly threw a 3-3 and brought a 4, showing a winner's smile. What? How come you have 3 3s and a 4 left? Bibi was dumbfounded when she saw Long Xiaoyao's 3 3s and 4s. Because there was a bomb in Bibi's hand, but she just saw Long Xiaoyao taking both of them out. She thought that what was left in Long Xiaoyao's hand was a bomb, so she didn't explode it. She regrets it now. 3 3s and a 4. ZG was shocked when she saw the last 4 cards played by Long Xiaoyao. She didn't expect that she could still keep the cards like this. This is called war, and you all think that what I have left is a bomb. In fact, I have no cards in my hand. Ha ha ha. Long Xiaoyao was very happy. He finally found his confidence again. Whether he played landlords with Yin and Bibi Dong or played mahjong with Yin, Bibi Dong and Yuena, he always failed miserably. But now he has never lost a fight against BG and ZG. In fact, what Long Xiaoyao didn't know was that the reason why he lost to Yin, Bibi Dong and Yuena was because they could all hear his thoughts. Unless they betrayed him, or Long Xiaoyao was lucky, he would not be able to defeat them at all. The reason why BG and ZG lost to Long Xiaoyao was because BG and ZG couldn't hear his voice. To Long Xiaoyao, BG and ZG were just two rookies, so of course he beat them casually. Again, I still don't believe it, ZG said angrily. In the next hour, due to Long Xiaoyao's deliberate letting go, both BG and ZG won many games. After all, Long Xiaoyao asked BG and ZG to fight the landlord, not to make him happy alone, but to enhance his relationship with BG and ZG and make everyone happy together. 3 belts and 1, I'm done. ZG directly threw a 3-7 with a 3, showing a bright smile. Great, BG also showed a bright smile, because this dragon Xiaoyao is the landlord. Oh. We lost again. Why are you so quick and so good at playing? Long Xiaoyao sighed deliberately, showed a helpless smile, silently closed his king bomb, a consecutive pair, and a big straight, and began to shuffle the cards. Of course, Sister Brigitte and I are very smart, ZG said proudly. Brigitte also smiled, they were both happy now. Okay, since you are so good at playing now, let's increase the stakes a little bit, shall we? Long Xiaoyao said with a smile, although he was already very happy just playing landlords with the two beauties BG and ZG. But he wants to enhance his relationship. How can this alone be enough? Okay. What do you want to bet on? ZG asked directly. She also thought it would be more fun to add a little more bets. BG also looked at Long Xiaoyao, and she also thought it would be more fun to increase the stakes. Truth or dare, Long Xiaoyao said directly. Truth or dare, BG and ZG had question marks on their faces. They had never heard of this term. The losing party can choose between truth or dare. Truth is the winning party. Ask the losing party a question, and the losing party must answer truthfully. The big adventure is for the winning side to ask the losing side to do one thing, and the losing side must complete it, Long Xiaoyao introduced with a smile. I see. It seems very interesting, Ken. BG and ZG nodded. After listening to Long Xiaoyao's introduction, they all became a little excited. Chapter 83 Truth or Dare. 3 with 1, I'm done. ZG threw 3 9s and 2 2s directly on the table, and then showed an excited smile, revealing her unique little tiger teeth. Brigitte also showed an excited smile, because this was her first bet after Truth or Dare, and this time Long Xiaoyao was the landlord. Ugh, Long Xiaoyao smiled and sighed, silently putting away the 4 2s in his hand. He deliberately let Brigitte and ZG give this one, because he would choose to tell the truth next, and he wanted to see what questions Brigitte and ZG would ask him. Tell me, do you choose Truth or Dare? ZG asked Long Xiaoyao with a smile, and BG also looked at Long Xiaoyao expectantly. I choose to be honest, Long Xiaoyao thought for a while and said. It is good, then let me ask you, who do you think is more beautiful compared to Sister Bibi and me or Ah Yin and Bibi Dong? ZG asked Long Xiaoyao directly, and then looked at Long Xiaoyao expectantly. BG heard ZG ask the question she really wanted to know, and looked at Long Xiaoyao expectantly. Oh, Long Xiaoyao was a little surprised. He didn't expect ZG to ask this question as soon as she arrived. It seems that both Brigitte and ZG have fallen in love with me. Long Xiaoyao is a doctor and a psychiatrist who has seen countless people, and now he also has Ah Yin and Bibi Dong. He looked at Brigitte and ZG's very expectant eyes. How could he not see that Brigitte and ZG fell in love with him? That's why ZG asked such questions directly, and that's why Brigitte and ZG were so looking forward to it. Looking at her? Of course you are more beautiful, Long Xiaoyao answered directly without thinking. Because now, BG and ZG have higher cultivation levels. They are slightly better than Ah Yin and Bibi Dong in terms of appearance, figure, and temperament. This is an undeniable fact. Long Xiaoyao proposed Truth or Dare as a bet in order to enhance his relationship with BG and ZG. Of course he would not and could not lie, otherwise there would be no Truth or Dare game. When BG and ZG saw Long Xiaoyao without thinking, they directly said that they were more beautiful. They felt very happy. The corners of their mouths could not help but raised up, showing bright and sweet smiles. Their pretty faces were slightly red, and they were very happy. Charming and charming. They were very satisfied with Long Xiaoyao's answer. It seems that I was right. BG and ZG both like me. When Long Xiaoyao saw BG and ZG smiling so happily, he knew that he had read correctly and smiled. You just called us beautiful without even thinking about it. Aren't you afraid that if we tell Ah Yin and Bibi Dong quietly in the future, they will cause trouble for you?" The corners of Ziji's mouth raised, revealing her cute little tiger teeth, and she asked Long Xiaoyao playfully. "I'm just telling the truth. This is the real truth or dare. Even if Yuena and Danja are here, I will say this." Long Xiaoyao said directly and affirmatively that even if Ah Yin and Bibi Dong were here, he would say this because it is indeed the truth. However, Long Xiaoyao believes that when Ah Yin and Bibi Dong become more powerful and as powerful as BG and ZG, Ah Yin and Bibi Dong will be as beautiful as BG and ZG, and even be more powerful. One chip. Oh, BG and ZG saw that Long Xiaoyao didn't even think about it, so they just said it affirmatively, and they were even more happy. "Bridget, it's your turn. What do you want to ask me?" Long Xiaoyao asked Bridget with a smile. "Okay, let me ask you, why do you want to play landlords with us?" Immediately afterwards, Bridget asked directly. The further she asked, the softer her voice became. BG heard Long Xiaoyao say that she and ZG were prettier than Ah Yin and Bibi Dong. She originally wanted to ask Long Xiaoyao why he wanted to play landlords with him instead of playing with Ah Yin and Bibi Dong in the room. A three-player game. Because now in BG's heart, she and ZG are already Long Xiaoyao's women, and it is not impossible to play that kind of game with Long Xiaoyao. She had some expectations. But when Bridget thought about the possible scenarios in that kind of game, she suddenly felt very shy. Not only did her voice get smaller and smaller, but she was also embarrassed to ask the next words. That's because landlord battle is as fun as mahjong. Furthermore, it takes 4 people to play mahjong, and 3 people to play land fighting. We happen to have 3 of us, Long Xiaoyao answered truthfully. He didn't understand why BG asked him the question that he had explained at the beginning. "Oh," Bridget said helplessly. Of course she knew that playing landlords was as fun as playing mahjong. She wanted to know that since Long Xiaoyao thought she and ZG were prettier than Ah Yin and Bibi Dong, why didn't he play a 3-person game with them? But Bridget was really embarrassed to ask, so she had no choice but to give it up. "Okay, come again." Although Long Xiaoyao didn't understand why BG was helpless, he just wanted to start the next game quickly. He wanted something exciting. "Shunzi, I'm done." After a while, Long Xiaoyao directly played a hand of 70, 80, and 90 JQKA, and gave out all the cards in his hand. "What, with so many cards, you actually dealt them all at once?" BG and ZG were very shocked. They always played the most cards first. They never expected that Long Xiaoyao would save such a long straight until the end, catching them off guard. Bridget still has a king bomb in her hand, and ZG has 4 2s in her hand. This is called stealing chicken. I don't have a king or a 2 in my hand, and you can't part with either. Of course I guess that you have 2 bombs. Of course I have to take risks, otherwise I can't win at all, Long Xiaoyao explained with a proud smile. "Okay, it's your choice. Do you choose truth or dare?" Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao asked BG and ZG with a smile. "I choose the truth," ZG said directly. "I'll choose the truth too," Bridget thought for a moment and then continued. "Okay, then let me ask you, do you like me?" Long Xiaoyao asked directly with a smile. He wanted to make sure whether BG and ZG liked him now. "I mean the kind of love between men and women. You have to answer me truthfully like I just did." Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao immediately added that he was worried that BG and ZG would think that he was not talking about a kind of love between men and women, and then looked at BG and ZG with a smile. "Of course I like you," ZG answered Long Xiaoyao directly without even thinking about it. ZG was a little speechless. She couldn't understand that she and BG had agreed to become Long Xiaoyao's woman, but Long Xiaoyao actually asked her and BG if they liked him. "I like you too." Although BG was a little shy and her pretty face turned red, she did not hesitate and directly said that she liked Long Xiaoyao. BG, like ZG, couldn't figure out why Long Xiaoyao asked this question. "What?" Long Xiaoyao was shocked, because although BG and ZG's answers were within his expectation, BG and ZG's performance was beyond his expectation. He originally thought that BG and ZG would blush with embarrassment and be embarrassed to say it, and then they would tell them they liked him under his coercion. He never expected that BG and ZG would say they liked him without hesitation, which made him a little unexpected. Could it be that BG and ZG have lived for tens of thousands of years, or even hundreds of thousands of years, and have been single for a long time, so they are not shy at all? Long Xiaoyao guessed in his heart. However, he felt that this possibility was unlikely, because during the day when he helped Brigitte and Ziggy were hairpins, he was sure that although Brigitte and Ziggy had lived a long time, they were still like girls who had never been in love. I can't imagine why Brigitte and Ziggy are not so shy now. Come again, I will definitely win the next game, Ziggy urged Long Xiaoyao. It is good, Long Xiaoyao stopped thinking and started shuffling the cards directly. I'm done with the plane. After a while, Ziggy threw 3 3s and 3 4s, brought a 2 and an ace, and then showed an excited smile. Great, Biji also showed an excited smile, because Long Xiaoyao was the landlord again, and she and Ziggy won again. Chapter 84 You must be responsible. Wakao. You actually learned how to steal chicken so quickly. Long Xiaoyao admired Ziggy a little. He really didn't expect that Ziggy would leave such a small plane. Hey. Of course, Ziggy showed her little tiger teeth and smiled proudly. It's your choice, truth or dare. Immediately afterwards, Ziggy asked Long Xiaoyao with a smile. Let's take a big risk. Long Xiaoyao thought for a while and said, he had already thought about what questions to ask Biji and Ziggy, but now he could only wait for the next one. Tell me, what do you want me to do? Long Xiaoyao asked Biji and Ziggy with a smile. What should I ask you to do? Ziggy began to think about what Long Xiaoyao should do. Brigitte on the side also started to think. Yes, I want you to kiss me. After thinking for a while, Ziggy pointed at her jade lips with her index finger, exposed her little tiger teeth, and said to Long Xiaoyao with a smile. Ziggy felt that she was now Long Xiaoyao's woman, and just now Long Xiaoyao said that she and Biji were more beautiful than Ah Yin and Bibi Dong. So she wanted to take this opportunity to dedicate her first kiss to Long Xiaoyao. As soon as Ziggy finished speaking, her pretty face immediately turned red. This was her first kiss after all, but she did not regret letting Long Xiaoyao kiss her because she wanted to dedicate her first kiss to Long Xiaoyao. Wait. Could it be that this little purple female dragon is in love? Long Xiaoyao was shocked by what Ziggy asked him to do. He now seriously suspected that Ziggy was coveting his beauty. Sister Ziggy. Biji was also shocked when she heard Ziggy's words. She knew that Ziggy was upright and forthright, but she didn't expect Ziggy to be so direct and was shocked. It is good, Long Xiaoyao nodded. Now he was playing a big adventure. He originally wanted to promote feelings with Biji and Ziggy. Since Ziggy took the initiative to make such an unreasonable request, how could he refuse? Long Xiaoyao stood up directly, came to Ziggy, held Ziggy's jade arm, helped Ziggy up, then held up Ziggy's chin with his right hand, and looked down at Ziggy's purple eyes. Plop, plop, Ziggy looked up at Long Xiaoyao's star-like eyes. Her heartbeat suddenly accelerated and her pretty face turned redder. She became shy and nervous, but at the same time she was also looking forward to it. She wanted to know what it was like to kiss the person she liked. What a feeling. Long Xiaoyao kissed Ziggy's jade mouth without any hesitation or any nonsense. Yet, although she was well prepared, Ziggy, who had no experience, couldn't help but make a passionate sound. Her pretty face became even redder, and her jade hands danced nervously, not knowing how to place them. However, Long Xiaoyao had experience, and Ziggy soon felt very comfortable and no longer nervous. She directly hugged Long Xiaoyao's waist and began to enjoy it. Biji looked on, feeling very shy, and her pretty face was even redder than Ziggy's. But Biji was a little envious of Ziggy. She watched Long Xiaoyao kiss Ziggy, and she also wanted Long Xiaoyao to kiss her. Hoo-hoo, after kissing for a while, Long Xiaoyao let go of Ziggy's mouth, and Ziggy suddenly started to breathe heavily. Because it was her first time, she had no experience and was a little hypoxic. How is it going? Do you feel comfortable? Long Xiaoyao asked Ziggy with a smile. Ziggy nodded affirmatively, showed her little tiger teeth, and showed a happy smile. Only now did she know that kissing the person she liked was so comfortable. Just feel comfortable, Long Xiaoyao smiled and helped Ziggy sit back, and then looked at Biji. Brigitte, what do you want me to do? Do you also want me to kiss you? Long Xiaoyao smiled and asked Biji directly. When he kissed Ziggy just now, he noticed that although Biji was very shy, she was looking at her with envy, so he felt that Biji would also let him kiss her. Xiaoyao, it's true, I haven't kissed you enough yet. Ziggy was still a little unfinished, she wanted to do it again. But now Biji is still here. She and BG agreed to become Long Xiaoyao's woman at the same time during the day, and she and BG are still the best sisters. She can't monopolize Long Xiaoyao, so she didn't say anything, just settled down, watching quietly. Although she was very shy, Bridget nodded. Because she also felt that she was Long Xiaoyao's woman now, and she also wanted to take this opportunity to dedicate her first kiss to Long Xiaoyao. She didn't want to fall behind ZG. It is good. Without saying a word, Long Xiaoyao walked directly to Bridget's side, held Bridget's jade arm, helped Bridget up, then lifted Bridget's chin, and looked down at Bridget's emerald-like eyes. Plop, plop, looking up into Long Xiaoyao's eyes, BG's heartbeat accelerated rapidly as she thought of what was going to happen next, and her pretty face turned red. She was extremely nervous now, but she was also extremely looking forward to it. Just like kissing ZG, Long Xiaoyao kissed BG directly on her jade lips without any nonsense or hesitation. Yet, like ZG, this was also the first time for BG. She couldn't help but make a passionate sound, and her pretty face became even redder. However, because she had been watching Long Xiaoyao kiss ZG, BG immediately hugged Long Xiaoyao's waist, and after getting used to it, she began to enjoy it. It turns out that kissing is so embarrassing. ZG watched Long Xiaoyao kiss BG on the side, only to realize that it was very embarrassing to do so. Her pretty face, which had just faded a little, turned red again. ZG was very lucky that she had asked Long Xiaoyao to kiss her first, otherwise she would not have dared to let Long Xiaoyao kiss her. After kissing for a while, Long Xiaoyao let go of BG's lips, and BG began to breathe heavily. BG was the same as ZG, because it was her first time, she had no experience, and she was a little short of oxygen. How is it, do you feel comfortable? Long Xiaoyao asked BG with a smile. Although she was very shy, Bridget nodded because she was indeed very comfortable. But this was BG's first kiss after all. She felt very shy and did not dare to look directly into Long Xiaoyao's eyes, so she lowered her head in shame. As soon as she lowered her head, Bridget saw the pants that had been stretched by about, centimeters. She was startled and couldn't help but let out a scream. Her pretty face turned red, like a ripe red apple. Same, mouth-watering. What's wrong? Hearing BG's sudden scream, ZG looked over worriedly. When ZG saw the same scene as BG, ZG was also startled, couldn't help but scream, and her pretty face turned red. Isn't it too big? BG and ZG have never seen, but they both feel the same at the moment. This is all because you asked us to kiss you, so it became like this. You must be responsible. Long Xiaoyao smiled and said, BG and ZG are so beautiful, and they are different from Ah Yin and Bibi Dong. They each have their own characteristics. When he kissed them, his blood was already boiling. Now he can't bear it anymore. No more. Okay, BG and ZG nodded. Of course they knew how Long Xiaoyao wanted them to be responsible. They felt that they had agreed to become Long Xiaoyao's women, and it was natural to do such things with Long Xiaoyao. And the reason why Long Xiaoyao became like this was because kissing them meant that they were very attractive, and they felt very happy. Seeing BG and ZG nodding, Long Xiaoyao directly hugged BG with his left hand, hugged ZG with his right hand, and walked to the big bed not far away. Putting BG and ZG on the bed, Long Xiaoyao directly started playing the three-person game that BG and ZG had been looking forward to. Buzz buzz. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao, BG and ZG's bodies lit up with dazzling and sacred white light, holy light mosaic. Here I go again. Yeah. After a while, the whole room echoed with the moans of Bridget and ZG, one after another. Chapter 85. I want you to feed me. You guys look so good. Long Xiaoyao felt the warmth and unique fragrance of BG and ZG's jade lips, remaining on his lips, and looked at BG and ZG's shy, cute, happy smiles, and smiled. Long Xiaoyao's blood was already boiling, and his eyes became like wolves and tigers, looking at BG and ZG as if they were looking at lambs to be slaughtered. He has already had the urge to push down BG and ZG, and he has determined BG and ZG's intentions. He is not going to endure it anymore. He wants to take the initiative. Happy, BG looked at Long Xiaoyao's wolf-like eyes, and found that they looked similar to the way Long Xiaoyao looked at Ah Yin and Bibi Dong when they carried Ah Yin and Bibi Dong to the room to play a three-person game 2 nights ago, and she suddenly panicked got up. Bridget's pretty face turned red again, but her heart was filled with anticipation. Come again? I will definitely beat you in the next round. Ziji didn't notice the change in Long Xiaoyao's eyes, and didn't know the seriousness of the problem. She started gearing up, urging Long Xiaoyao to shuffle the cards quickly, and was ready for a big battle, vowing to win against Long Xiaoyao. Although Dao Dizu is fun, there are even more fun 3-player games that are particularly suitable for us, Long Xiaoyao said with a smile. What? As soon as he finished speaking, Long Xiaoyao directly picked up BG with one hand and Ziji with the other hand. BG and Ziji were startled and they couldn't help but scream. By the time BG and Ziji reacted, they had already been placed on the bed by Long Xiaoyao. Happy, BG and Ziji both reacted. They understood that Long Xiaoyao was going to play a 3-person game with them next. They were both a little shy and nervous because it was their first time. However, they felt that they were already Long Xiaoyao's women, so they were willing to give Long Xiaoyao their first time without any resistance, and they had some expectations. Without saying a word, Long Xiaoyao pounced directly on BG and Ziji. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao, BG and Ziji lit up with sacred and dazzling white light, quickly illuminating the entire room. Holy light mosaic, I'm here again. Long Xiaoyao knew that since BG and Ziji were willing to give him their first kiss, they would definitely be willing to be his women. He knew that at this time, he should not continue to ask questions that he already knew the answer to. So he stopped asking Brigitte and Ziji for their opinions and started fighting directly with Brigitte and Ziji. Yet, after a while, the whole room echoed with a blood-curdling sound. The next morning, Long Xiaoyao got up early and carefully prepared breakfast for BG and Ziji. Come on, Beer, Zir, I have carefully prepared these for you. Eat more fish and more chicken. These will replenish your body. Long Xiaoyao smiled and filled 2 large bowls of chicken and fish for BG and Ziji to replenish their bodies. In order to distinguish BG and Ziji, Long Xiaoyao did not call them Jir, but called them Beer and Zir. When BG and Ziji heard Long Xiaoyao calling them affectionately, they both showed happy smiles when they looked at the big bowl full of delicious food in front of them. They nodded with a smile, then picked up a piece of chicken and ate it. Yet, it's so delicious. After BG and Ziji tasted a piece, they couldn't help but praise it sincerely, and then devoured it regardless of the image. Seeing BG and Ziji devouring their food, Long Xiaoyao showed a happy smile and just quietly admired BG and Ziji while they were eating. Xiaoyao, why don't you eat? You eat too. BG found that Long Xiaoyao had not eaten, so she told Long Xiaoyao. Yes, you eat too. You have prepared so much, Sister Brigitte, and I can't finish it, Ziji also said to Long Xiaoyao. Okay, Long Xiaoyao nodded. But I want you to feed me. But then, Long Xiaoyao said with a smile, and then opened his mouth slightly, waiting for BG and Ziji to feed him. Are you a child? Do you want Sister Brigitte and me to feed you? Ziji couldn't help but complain about Long Xiaoyao. BG also looked at Long Xiaoyao in confusion, wondering why Long Xiaoyao wanted them to feed him. Feeding is very common between human lovers and is used to promote feelings. If you don't feed me, I won't eat. Long Xiaoyao smiled and explained that the reason why he insisted on letting BG and Ziji feed him was because he wanted to see how BG and Ziji would react, and he also wanted to experience how BG and Ziji would feed him. What it feels like. When BG and Ziji heard Long Xiaoyao's words, they suddenly understood and nodded. They remembered that after they entered the human world with the Yuena and 3-eyed Jinny, they did often see young human lovers feeding them. Moreover, Long Xiaoyao, Ah Yin, and Bibi Dong often fed each other when eating with them 2 days ago, but it made them very confused. Now they finally figured it out. Come, BG no longer hesitated and took the lead in picking up a piece of chicken and asked Long Xiaoyao to open his mouth. Come, Ziji no longer hesitated, picked up a piece of fish meat, and asked Long Xiaoyao to open his mouth. What? Long Xiaoyao opened his mouth in cooperation, waiting for BG and Ziji to feed him. This feels so shy. But at this time, BG and Ziji stopped. It was the first time for them to feed someone else, and they felt very shy doing so. Especially when they fed Long Xiaoyao, their pretty faces turned red quickly. Long Xiaoyao looked at BG and Ziji so shy that their pretty faces turned red. He felt very amused and smiled. But last night, BG and Ziji did something even more embarrassing than this with Long Xiaoyao, so they gritted their teeth and put chicken and fish into Long Xiaoyao's mouth. Douluo. So delicious, Long Xiaoyao tasted it carefully, and after swallowing it in one gulp, he praised it with a smile. After hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, BG and ZG felt particularly happy for some reason and smiled. Come on, beer, have a piece of fish. Long Xiaoyao picked up a piece of fish meat and placed it in front of BG. He smiled and asked BG to open her mouth. Looking at the fish and Long Xiaoyao in front of her, BG suddenly felt even more shy than when she fed Long Xiaoyao just now. Seeing that Long Xiaoyao chose to feed BG first, ZG was a little jealous and puffed up her cheeks in anger. However, BG still opened her mouth and let Long Xiaoyao feed her. She also wanted to taste what it felt like to have Long Xiaoyao feed her fish. Long Xiaoyao directly put the fish meat into BG's mouth, and BG began to chew it. Good to eat. Before she swallowed it, Bridget praised it directly. At the same time, BG couldn't help but raise the corners of her mouth, revealing a happy smile. She felt that the fish that Long Xiaoyao fed her was 10,000 times more delicious than the fish that she ate. It's good to eat. Long Xiaoyao showed a happy smile. Not only because of BG, but also because he noticed that ZG was so angry that she was puffing up her cheeks. Of course, he could guess that ZG was jealous because he fed BG fish first. Come on, Zir, eat a big piece of chicken. Long Xiaoyao specially picked up a big piece of chicken for ZG, placed it in front of ZG, and said to ZG with a smile. What? ZG looked at the big chicken that Long Xiaoyao specially prepared for her, and she immediately felt much better. She opened her jade mouth and waited for Long Xiaoyao to feed her. So shameful. At the same time, ZG's pretty face also turned red. Like BG, she felt that letting Long Xiaoyao feed her would be more embarrassing than letting her eat for Long Xiaoyao. Long Xiaoyao put the chicken directly into ZG's mouth, and ZG started chewing it. Douluo. It's so delicious. After ZG swallowed it in one gulp, she showed her little tiger teeth and smiled happily. She also felt that the chicken Long Xiaoyao fed her was 10,000 times more delicious than the chicken she ate. Long Xiaoyao and BG saw ZG smiling happily and also smiled. I want more. ZG opened her mouth towards Long Xiaoyao again. I want it too. Bridget also opened her mouth. It is good. Long Xiaoyao showed a doting smile and continued to pick up vegetables for BG and ZG. Chapter 86 Ice Immortal Jade Muscle and Bone. After spending an hour, Long Xiaoyao, BG, and ZG finally finished their breakfast. Boom boom boom. Just at this moment, there was a knock on the door. Please come in, Long Xiaoyao shouted towards the door. He did not use illusion and changed into an ordinary appearance. Because he used his insightful eyes to see that there was only one person coming, and that was Yaosiki. Squeak. The door was opened, and Yaosiki walked in with slender steps and walked towards Long Xiaoyao. No matter how many times I see it, Mr. Long is so handsome. Yaosiki looked at Long Xiaoyao and felt that Long Xiaoyao was so handsome. Even though she had seen Long Xiaoyao's true face yesterday, and now that she saw him again, her heartbeat still accelerated uncontrollably. Isn't this Miss Yao interested in Xiaoyao? ZG noticed the way Yaosiki looked at Long Xiaoyao. Although it couldn't be said to be exactly the same as the first time she saw Long Xiaoyao, it could be said to be similar. She immediately became alert and stared at Yaosiki warily together. Of course, BG also noticed the way Yaosiki looked at Long Xiaoyao, but she did not become alert. Instead, she felt very proud because her man, Long Xiaoyao, was very charming. Yaosiki walked up to Long Xiaoyao and took out a purple-black VIP card and a pink identity plate. Master Long, I have prepared your VIP card for you. In the future, I will put whatever part of the profits you get from selling the Desert Eagle, Barrett, their matching bullets, and grenades on your card. You can use this card to get soul coins from any branch of our Xian Chamber of Commerce, and you will get a, % discount on any consumption at properties belonging to our Xian Chamber of Commerce. Yaosiki held up the purple-black VIP card and explained to Long Xiaoyao with a smile. This is my identity brand. If Mr. Long decides who to sell Desert Eagle, Barrett and Grenade to in the future, he can use my identity brand to go to Xian City, the headquarters of our Xian Chamber of Commerce. Find me, even if I am not at the headquarters, people from the headquarters will send me a message and I will return to the headquarters immediately. Yaosiki raised the pink identity tag again, explained to Long Xiaoyao with a smile, and then handed the VIP card and identity tag to Long Xiaoyao directly. Miss Liu Yao is here. Long Xiaoyao was not polite and directly accepted the VIP card and identity tag that Yaosiki had prepared for him. No trouble. Seeing Long Xiaoyao put away the VIP card and her identity tag, Yaosiki quickly said with a smile. 2 blushes appeared on her delicate face, like a peach blossom waiting to bloom. Miss Yao, this is my gift to you. Think of it as a thank you for spending money to let beer and Zier and I live here. You also helped me get a VIP card and gave me your identity tag. Long Xiaoyao directly took out a snow-white ice immortal jade muscle and bone picked from the eyes of ice and fire, which looked like a green lotus and white lotus root. He handed it to Yaosiki and smiled at Yaosiki said, "This is the ice immortal jade muscle and bone. And it looks like it's at least 3,000 years old." Yaosiki looked at the ice immortal jade muscle and bone in Long Xiaoyao's hand and was extremely shocked. She knew how valuable the ice immortal jade muscle and bone was. BG and ZG on the side were very happy when they heard that Long Xiaoyao also called them beer and Zier in front of Yaosiki, and they all showed happy smiles. No, Mr. Long, this ice immortal jade muscle and bone is too valuable, I can't accept it. Yaosiki waved his hands and said, although she knew that this ice immortal jade muscle and bone was a great treasure to her. It could not only improve her strength, but also improve her talent. And talent is the most important factor for a soul master. This is also why powerful soul masters will always appear in families with strong martial soul inheritance. As for civilian soul masters, they can only be civilian soul masters for generations. Unless they are lucky enough to undergo a benign mutation and mutate into powerful martial soul, they can become a powerful soul master. However, ice immortal jade muscles and bones are too valuable. The starting price on the market is at least 1,000 million gold soul coins. If it is taken to the auction house for an auction conference, the transaction price will be at least, million gold soul coins. Yaosiki was really embarrassed to accept it. I said I would give it to you, just accept it. Don't think so much and don't talk so much, otherwise you will look down on me, Long Xiaoyao said domineeringly, and directly stuffed the ice immortal jade muscles and bones into Yaosiki's hands. Long Xiaoyao sent Yaosiki ice immortal jade muscle and bone not only to win over Yaosiki, but also to get Yaosiki. He originally wanted all the goddesses. Although Yaosiki did not appear in the original work, Yaosiki had a curvy figure, beautiful appearance, and was very smart and capable. How could he let Yaosiki go? See key. However, he is not in a hurry to capture Yaosiki's heart, he plans to capture her slowly. This, holding the ice immortal jade muscle and bone in his hand and feeling the unique fragrance emitted by the ice immortal jade muscle and bone, Yaosiki felt very flattered. He didn't know what to say or what to do for a while. Miss Yao, just accept it. This is Xiaoyao's little thought. Biji knew that Long Xiaoyao had kept his word and there was no reason to take back what he had given away, so she smiled and persuaded Yaosiki to do the same. That's right, if you dare not accept this ice immortal jade muscle and bone, I won't let you out of this room today, Ziji threatened Yaosiki. She also knew that Long Xiaoyao was true to his word, and she didn't want Long Xiaoyao to lose face. In that case, I would like to thank Mr. Long, Miss Bridget, and Miss Ziji. After hearing BG and ZG's words and seeing Long Xiaoyao's firm eyes, Yaosiki said nothing more and gratefully thanked Long Xiaoyao, BG and ZG, and then happily put the ice immortal jade skin into his hands. The bones were retracted. That's right. You must absorb it quickly, otherwise the effectiveness of the ice immortal jade muscle and bone will become less effective over time. Seeing Yaosiki put away the ice immortal jade muscles and bones, Long Xiaoyao smiled and told Yaosiki. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's words and looking at Long Xiaoyao's smile, Yaosiki showed a happy smile and nodded affirmatively. Master Long, where are you going next? Yaosiki asked Long Xiaoyao curiously. She really wanted to know the traces of Long Xiaoyao, so that she could know where to find Long Xiaoyao. Next, I will take beer and Zier to practice medicine while heading to the Star Luo Empire. I want to go to the Star Luo Empire to do something. Long Xiaoyao did not hide Yaosiki and said directly. He planned to see the Star Luo Empire's attitude towards him. At the same time, the more important purpose was to see if Zhu Xiuqing was born, and to see if Zhu Huayan, who was as beautiful as Zhu Xiuqing, was born. If they were born, He could not let the sisters Zhu Xiuqing and Zhu Zuoyin become victims of the internal fighting in the royal family of the Star Luo Empire, turning the two sisters who should have loved each other into enemies. He wanted to save the sisters Zhu Xiuqing and Zhu Zuoyin. Oh, Yaosiki nodded. She silently wrote down Long Xiaoyao's words and where Long Xiaoyao was going to go next. Miss Yao, it's time for us to set off. Goodbye. Long Xiaoyao cupped his hands at Yaosiki. Goodbye, Mr. Long. Yaosiki immediately apologized to Long Xiaoyao. Goodbye, Miss Bridget. Miss Ziji. Immediately afterwards, Yaosiki immediately apologized to BG and ZG. Goodbye, Miss Yao, Bridget said with a smile. Goodbye, ZG also said. Long Xiaoyao immediately used the illusion and set off for the Star Luo Empire with BG and ZG. You gave me ice immortal jade muscles and bones, probably just to win over me. You have no other intention, right? After Long Xiaoyao, BG, and ZG left, Yaosiki took out the ice immortal jade muscles and bones. She looked at the ice immortal jade muscles and bones and felt that Long Xiaoyao gave her the ice immortal jade muscles and bones just to win over her, has no other meaning. Yaosiki felt that for a soul master as powerful and handsome as Long Xiaoyao, only a powerful and beautiful female soul master like BG and ZG could be worthy of Long Xiaoyao. As for herself, she felt that she was too weak and not worthy of Long Xiaoyao. End of this chapter. Period. Chapter 87. The three holy places are dispatched one after another. A few days later, Poseidon Island, Poseidon Temple. Bosaixi stood in front of the throne of great worship, and behind her stood her maid, Oya. Below, the 7 guardians of the 7 sacred pillars were standing respectfully in their respective positions. They had all been urgently summoned by Bosaixi. I have received an oracle from Lord Poseidon, and I am going to leave Poseidon Island with Sea Witch Douluo and Ah Yin to do a big thing. During my absence, the important responsibility of protecting Poseidon Island will be left in your hands, Bosaixi said concisely and concisely. His voice was loud, melodious and full of domineering power, making people dare not disobey him. The big thing Bosaixi was referring to was to search everywhere in the Douluo continent to see if any soul beasts with bloodline more powerful than Lord Dragon God had appeared. Bosaixi knew about the Dragon God, and she felt that there should be no soul beast with blood more powerful than the Dragon God on Douluo continent. However, this was an oracle sent by the Poseidon, so Bosaixi had no choice but to go to various places in Douluo continent to check. It just so happened that she had been bored to death after staying on Poseidon Island for so many years and guarding Poseidon Island for so many years. She had long wanted to visit various places in Douluo continent. Now he shoulders the heavy responsibility of guarding Poseidon Island and cannot step out of Poseidon Island out of boredom. So she decided to take Ah Yin and Sea Witch Douluo along with her because she wanted to go out and have fun this time. She knew that the little girl Ah Yin and the mermaid princess Sea Witch Douluo had long been bored to death. As for the other 6 people, they were all men, and they were all men whom Bosaixi despised. She didn't want them to go out with her, and she didn't bother to care that they were all boring. Yes, after hearing Bosaixi's words, the guardians of the 7 holy pillars responded respectfully. Maid Oya and Sea Witch Douluo heard Bosaixi's words and smiled excitedly. Although they didn't know what big event Bosaixi was taking them to do, they were already happy to be able to leave Poseidon Island. Just as Bosaixi thought, they were already bored to death. Soon after, Ah Yin and Sea Witch Douluo followed Bosaixi and flew out of the range of Poseidon Island. Master High Priest, what are we going to do? Oya's eyes widened. She pushed up her glasses and asked Bosaixi curiously. Hearing this, Sea Witch Douluo also looked at Bosaixi very curiously. They knew that since Poseidon had sent down an oracle and asked Bosaixi to personally go out, it must be something big, and they were all very curious. Because in all these years, they have never seen the sea god send an oracle. Lord Poseidon wants me to check various places in Douluo continent to see if there is anyone with a bloodline more powerful than the former dragon god. If I find it, I'll catch it if I can defeat it. If I can't defeat him, I'll inform Lord Poseidon, Bosaixi said bluntly. What? Ah Yin and Sea Witch Douluo were extremely shocked when they heard Bosaixi's words. Ah Yin was so frightened that half of his glasses fell off. They also all know that the dragon god is the legendary god of soul beasts, the most powerful being among soul beasts. And what they were going to look for with Bosaixi now was a soul beast that was more powerful than the dragon god's bloodline. How could they not be frightened? You don't need to be so nervous. How could there be an existence with bloodline power more powerful than the dragon god? And even if there is, I will still be there to protect you. Even if I can't defeat him, I can still summon Lord Poseidon. What are you afraid of? Bo Saxi comforted Ah Yin and sea-witch Douluo, her words full of confidence. Bo Saxi felt that even if there were, that soul beast had definitely not grown up yet and was definitely no match for her. Otherwise, she felt that that soul beast would have led all the soul beasts in Douluo continent to hunt humans and unify Douluo continent. And even if she couldn't defeat him, she could just summon Poseidon without panicking at all. The high priest is right. How can there be an existence with bloodline power more powerful than the dragon god? After hearing Bo Saxi's words, Ah Yin and sea-witch Douluo also felt that it was impossible for a soul beast to appear, which was more powerful than the dragon god's bloodline power. Then they felt relieved and breathed a sigh of relief. Only then did Ah Yin push his glasses back in shock. So the main purpose of our going out this time is to have fun. After staying on Poseidon Island for so long, I'm almost bored to death. Immediately afterwards, Bo Saxi showed an excited smile. She has been staying on Poseidon Island since she was a child. From taking the 8 Poseidon exams to becoming the High Priest of Poseidon Island, she has been practicing hard. After becoming the High Priest, she has been guarding Poseidon Island and Poseidon Island. She dedicated her whole life to Poseidon Island and never played. She was very excited to finally come out and play this time. Hearing Bo Saxi's words and seeing Bo Saxi's excited smile, Xiaoyao and sea-witch Douluo were both stunned. Ah Yin was so scared that half of his glasses fell off again. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, they would never have dared to imagine that Bo Saxi would actually say such words and show such a smile. But they all have the same feeling, that is, Bo Saxi is very kind now. Wuhun Hall, Elder Hall. Jin Daoliu stood in front of the throne of great worship. Below stood the remaining 2 worshippers, 3 worshippers, 4th worshippers and 5 worshippers. They were all looking for traces of Xiaoyao, Ah Yin and Bibi Dong all over the Douluo continent, but they were all suddenly summoned back by Jin Daoliu. 2 offerings, 3 offerings, 4 offerings, 5 offerings. I received an oracle from the god of angels, asking me to do a big thing. Xiaoyao's strength is beyond our imagination. He even killed Liu Zongfeng and Qi Zongfeng. If you fight alone, I believe that except for the 2nd worshipper, none of you will be Xiaoyao's opponent, so from now on, you all will be guarding the Wuhan Palace to prevent Xiaoyao from sneak attacking the Wuhan Palace while I am away, Jin Daoliu said to the 4 worshippers. The big thing Jin Daoliu said was that he received an oracle from the god of angels, asking him to search everywhere in the Douluo continent to see if there was any soul beast with blood more powerful than the dragon god. Jin Daoliu knew about the dragon god. And he felt that there would be no existence in the Douluo continent with a bloodline more powerful than the dragon god. However, the god of angels sent down an oracle, so he had no choice but to obey it. And he can also take the opportunity to look for Xiaoyao at the same time. It just so happened that because of his status as the guardian of the god of angels, he could not leave the Elder Hall for too long, so he could not look for Xiaoyao himself. Yes, the 4 worshippers did not have too many questions and answered respectfully directly. In the city of killing, in a palace, the king of slaughter stood high, and his 5 right-hand men stood respectfully below. Lord God has sent down an oracle. I have to go out to do a big thing. I will leave it to you to maintain the order of the killing city, the king of slaughter said concisely and concisely. Of course, the big thing he mentioned was to find the soul beast that the god sensed had a bloodline that was even more powerful than the dragon god. The king of slaughter knew about the dragon god, and he felt that there should be no soul beasts with bloodline more powerful than the dragon god on Douluo continent, otherwise the soul beasts would have attacked humans long ago. However, this was an oracle sent by God Xiao, so he had no choice but to obey it. Yes, the 5 people answered respectfully. Here are 3 more free gifts. Do you want to accept them? Support the deduction of 1 from High Priest Bo Saxi, 2 deductions for supporting the acceptance of the glasses made Ah Yin. Support the deduction of 3 points for accepting Mermaid Princess sea-witch Douluo. Support 4 deductions for all the winnings. End of this chapter. Chapter 88 Liu Erlong is in crisis. Just when the strongest guardians of the 3 holy places were dispatched to look for traces of Xiaoyao, Xiaoyao himself knew nothing about it. Xiaoyao had just completed the operation of delivering the baby to a pregnant woman whose amniotic fluid had ruptured by chance. At the moment, He was strolling on the road leading to the Douluo Empire, admiring the beautiful scenery along the way while waiting for Brigitte and ZG to return. BG and ZG returned to the Lake of Life deep in the Douluo forest yesterday. They were ordered by Yuena to tell Yuena and the others about the current situation so that Yuena and the others could feel at ease. Boom, boom. Suddenly, huge explosions were heard one after another from the outskirts of the Douluo forest, not far away. There are people fighting over there. Long Xiaoyao showed an excited smile. He felt that since the explosion was so loud, it must be a powerful soul master fighting with all his strength. Then there is a high chance that there will be casualties. This is a good opportunity for him to earn a lot of medical points. Long Xiaoyao can get the God of Medicine points by constantly injuring powerful soul masters through the bug in the God of Medicine system, and then by rescuing them, then injuring them again, and then rescuing them. But Long Xiaoyao is a doctor, and the doctor is kind-hearted. Even facing his own enemies, Long Xiaoyao would not be able to do such a heartless thing. Long Xiaoyao immediately used the illusion, turned into an ordinary person, and rushed directly to the place where the explosion came from. He planned to see who was fighting first. If it was someone from Wuhun Palace, Haoshan sect and Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus family, he would kill them directly. If they were from other forces, he would treat them 5 minutes ago, outside the Douluo forest. Liu Erlong spent a lot of effort and finally managed to lure the 3-year-old explosive bear to the outskirts of the Douluo forest and beat it to the ground. Unable to move, she finally relaxed tone. Clap clap. At this moment, bursts of applause sounded from behind Liu Erlong. Not good. Hearing the applause, Liu Erlong suddenly felt very bad. Liu Erlong turned around and looked back, only to see 6 men wearing Haoshan sect costumes, clapping their hands and slowly walking towards her, with proud smiles on their faces, and she knew she was in trouble. Young girl is really amazing. She was only at level 3, but she was able to cripple a year-old explosive bear by herself. The leader, a level 68 Soul Emperor, smiled and praised Liu Erlong, but his face quickly turned gloomy as he continued. But we have already targeted this explosive bear. It already belongs to our Haoshan sect. For the sake of helping us injure the explosive bear, girl, you can leave now. The leading Soul Emperor spoke directly to Liu Erlong in a commanding tone. He believed that Liu Erlong would be scared away when he heard the name Haoshan sect. The 6 of them came to the Douluo forest as a team to help a Soul King who had just reached level, hunt soul beasts. They had just arrived at the Douluo forest and happened to encounter Liu Erlong, attracting the explosive bear to the outskirts of the Douluo forest. They saw that Liu Erlong was planning to hunt the explosive bear, so they quietly followed Liu Erlong and the explosive bear. The fire is wild and bearish, waiting to reap the benefits. They were surprised that Liu Erlong could defeat the explosive bear alone, but they were outnumbered, and except for a level, Soul King, the others were all Soul Emperors. In addition to their status as disciples of the Haoshan sect, and Liu Erlong did not have any sect family symbol on his body, they felt that Liu Erlong was just a casual cultivator, and they were not afraid of Liu Erlong at all. And they knew that Liu Erlong had just fought a battle with the explosive bear, and he probably didn't have much soul power left, so he was no match for them. I didn't expect that the disciples of the Haoshan sect, known as the #1 sect in the world, would also steal the soul beasts hunted by others. It's really shameless. I bother. Liu Erlong smacked his tongue and cursed without any fear. She was very unhappy with these 6 Haoshan sect members. What did you say? Are you talking about it? When the 6 members of the Haoshan sect heard Liu Erlong's words, they felt very unbelievable. They all thought they heard it wrong, because they felt that Liu Erlong, who had no sect or family, could not dare to scold the Haoshan sect. Stop talking nonsense. If you want to take away the soul beast that I crippled, you have to step over my body. Boom. Liu Erlong said directly and domineeringly. She was too lazy to talk nonsense to these 6 people and directly exploded with momentum. Buzz. Immediately afterwards, 5 soul rings, yellow, purple, and black, slowly rose from Liu Erlong's feet, and the shadow of the fire dragon spirit appeared and surrounded her. If you don't eat the toast, you'll have to drink wine as a penalty. Since you want to die, then we will make it happen for you. Boom boom boom, buzz buzz. Seeing that Liu Erlong had activated his martial spirit, the 6 members of the Haoshan sect also exploded with momentum. Under their feet, 6 spirit rings of yellow, purple, Black and Black rose rapidly. Except for one, he and Liu the two dragons are the same, with 5 soul rings, yellow, yellow, purple, purple and black. Immediately afterwards, the pitch-black Haoshan hammer appeared in the hands of 6 people from the Haoshan sect. The first soul skill, Tyrannosaurus Possession. Liu Erlong directly used her first soul skill, and the fire dragon spirit turned into red armor, covering Liu Erlong's whole body, making Liu Erlong look mighty and domineering, quite like a woman who does not give in to men. Liu Erlong now has very little soul power left, and it can only support her to release her 5th soul skill once. That's why she used her first soul skill, which consumes less soul power and can increase strength, speed and defense, and prepared to find an opportunity to defeat the 6 members of the Haoshan sect one by one. The first soul skill, Thunder Hammer. The second soul skill, Thunder Hammer, kill. The 6 members of the Haoshan sect all took their Haoshan hammers, used their soul skills, and rushed towards Liu Erlong. Bang bang bang, boom boom boom, Liu Erlong and 6 people from the Haoshan sect started fighting, and huge explosions occurred one after another. None of the 6 people in the Haoshan sect were at a lower level than Liu Erlong, and there were more people than Liu Erlong. Liu Erlong had consumed a lot of soul power before. Although she had experienced hundreds of battles, she was no match for them. She was constantly being pressed and beaten by the 6 people from the Haoshan sect. Many parts of her body were injured, and she was quickly repelled by the 6 people. The 4th soul skill, Bloodthirsty Flames. After the battle just now, Liu Erlong knew that if she continued to fight, she would definitely lose, so she took advantage of the time when she was repelled, mobilized all the remaining soul power, and directly used her 4th soul skill with all her strength, planning to fight with how 6 people from Xianzhuang fought him. Immediately afterwards, Liu Erlong directly aimed at the 6 people of the Haoshan sect and released a large amount of dragon flames. The dragon flames directly formed a wave of fire and swallowed up the 6 people of the Haoshan sect who, after using the 4th soul skill, Liu Erlong's soul power was basically exhausted, and the martial soul and soul rings on her body had dissipated. She was already trying her best just to stand. You have no soul power anymore. Ha ha ha. At the same time, the fire waves dissipated, and the 6 members of the Haoshan sect appeared in front of Liu Erlong safely and soundly. They all looked at Liu Erlong with proud smiles. I can give you a chance to become my woman. Not only can I spare your life, but I can also let you kill the explosive bear and let you absorb its soul ring. How about that? The leading soul emperor looked at Liu Erlong's hot and perfect figure, looked at Liu Erlong's beautiful face, became lustful, showed an evil smile, and asked Liu Erlong with a smile. Bah! You're dreaming. Even if I die, I will never marry an old guy like you. Liu Erlong clicked his tongue and cursed angrily. The leading soul emperor was already 52 years old, his hair was half white, and his face was full of wrinkles. Moreover, Liu Erlong hated him very much. How could he agree to marry him? How dare you call me old? I will let you know later that I am more powerful than young people. The leading soul emperor felt extremely angry when he heard Liu Erlong calling her an old man, and vowed to let Liu Erlong see his glory. Hearing the words of the soul emperor, Liu Erlong showed a look of despair. She knew that she was doomed today. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 89: The Power of Grenade. Brothers, let's have fun with that bitch who doesn't know how to live or die, and then kill her. The leading soul emperor looked at Liu Erlong with a wolf-like look in his eyes, a lewd smile, said with a smile, and started walking towards Liu Erlong directly. Okay, the other 5 people heard the words of the leading soul emperor and nodded one after another. They also showed wolf-like eyes and lewd smiles. They began to follow the leading soul emperor and move toward Liu Erlong step by step. You have a good idea. Even if I die, I will not become your plaything, Liu Erlong looked at the 6 people approaching each other step by step, and tried his best to mobilize the last trace of his soul power, preparing to commit suicide. Want to commit suicide? Don't think about it. The leading soul emperor discovered Liu Erlong's plan and immediately shot towards Liu Erlong, trying to prevent Liu Erlong from committing suicide. Oops. Before Liu Erlong could condense the last bit of soul power into a weapon capable of committing suicide, she saw the leading soul emperor rushing in front of her. She knew she had no time to commit suicide. Liu Erlong knew what kind of hell she would face next if she could not commit suicide, and showed despair. Boom. However, just when Liu Erlong felt desperate, she suddenly saw a white figure shooting out from beside her, facing the leading Soul Emperor, and kicked the leading Soul Emperor directly in the face. Kicked that Soul Emperor away. This white figure is none other than Long Xiaoyao, who just arrived here. Long Xiaoyao had just arrived here, and before he had time to check who was fighting the 6 people from the Haoshan sect, he saw the Soul Emperor led by the Haoshan sect pounce on Liu Erlong, who was injured and had exhausted his soul power. Long Xiaoyao didn't even think twice, and without confirming Liu Erlong's identity, he kicked the leading Soul Emperor away. Boom. Ah. Poof. The leading Soul Emperor fell heavily to the ground, creating a big crater. He screamed in pain and vomited a large mouthful of blood. The face of the leading Soul Emperor who was kicked by Long Xiaoyao was directly smashed, and even the white bones were exposed. The blood flowed out uncontrollably. It looked very terrifying and extremely terrifying. The other 5 people from the Haoshan sect hurriedly came to the leading Soul Emperor. 2 of them helped the Soul Emperor up, and the other 3 stared at Long Xiaoyao closely. Who are you? How dare you hurt someone from our Haoshan sect? Are you tired of living? One of them shouted loudly at Long Xiaoyao, trying to use the name of Haoshan sect to scare Long Xiaoyao. Because he felt that Long Xiaoyao was definitely not an ordinary person, otherwise Long Xiaoyao would not have appeared quietly, and directly kicked the leading Soul Emperor away with one kick. Haha, Long Xiaoyao sneered twice. He was too lazy to talk nonsense with his Haoshan sect people and directly took out a grenade from the space ring. Although the God of Medicine system rewards Long Xiaoyao with only 1 Desert Eagle and Barrett, they have tens of thousands of bullets, and they are all loaded in the magazine. There were also, grenades awarded to Long Xiaoyao by the God of Medicine system. The grenade he displayed in front of Ningfengzi a few days ago was the second grenade he used. The first one was used by Long Xiaoyao to see the power of the grenade when he just got it. For Long Xiaoyao, the strongest of the 6 Haoshan sect members was the Soul Emperor. He was too lazy to fight with them and planned to kill them with grenades. Long Xiaoyao pulled the fuse of the grenade and threw it directly towards the 6 people of Haoshan sect 10. 9. At the same time, Long Xiaoyao was also counting down the time for the grenade to explode in his mind. At this moment, the Soul Emperor, the leader of the Haoshan sect, stood up. He was just about to say that he would go together and kill Long Xiaoyao, but he saw Long Xiaoyao throwing a grenade that he had never seen before, and he and the other 5 people stared curiously. Look at the grenade. Liu Erlong had never seen a grenade before and was staring at it curiously. I saw the grenade falling in front of the 6 people of the Haoshan sect, and slowly rolling towards the 6 people of the Haoshan sect. The 6 people of the Haoshan sect didn't know what the grenade was. They didn't dare to touch it. They all made way for the grenade, which happened to let the grenade roll in partially to the middle of the 6 people. The system rewards Long Xiaoyao's grenade, a modern spherical grenade with great power. However, none of the 6 people in the Haoshan sect knew about the grenade, and they were all staring at the grenade curiously. They were very puzzled as to why Long Xiaoyao threw this black little iron egg at them. Liu Erlong couldn't understand this very much, and was staring at the grenade from a distance curiously. Do you still want to kill us with this black little iron egg? Ha ha ha. Seeing that there was no movement from the grenade, the 6 members of the Haoshan sect all looked at Long Xiaoyao with mocking smiles. Liu Erlong also looked at Long Xiaoyao in confusion. 3. Long Xiaoyao ignored the 6 people from the Haoshan sect. When he was counting down to 3 in his heart, he turned around to 1. Boom. When Long Xiaoyao counted down to 1 in his heart, he smiled. Boom. As if hearing Long Xiaoyao's order, the grenade exploded directly among the 6 people of Haoshan sect, directly involving all 6 people of Haoshan sect in the explosion. The 6 people from the Haoshan sect didn't react at all. They were all too close to the grenade, and their bodies were all blown to pieces. Severed hands, severed legs, severed heads, severed bodies, blue clothes stained with blood and flesh, were all blown up with the explosion of grenades, and then fell heavily to the ground. What? Liu Erlong heard the explosion, and when he looked at the 6 people from the Haoshan sect again, he was deeply shocked when he saw the bloody scene. She never expected that 6 people from the Haoshan sect would be blown to pieces by a black little iron egg. If she hadn't seen Liu Erlong killed with her own eyes, She wouldn't have believed that the black little Titan just now could actually kill a Soul King of the Haoshan sect and 6 Soul Emperor level experts in an instant. Girl, you are so beautiful. Long Xiaoyao ignored the 6 people from the Haoshan sect and turned his attention to Liu Erlong. He was immediately attracted by Liu Erlong. He directly handed over to Liu Erlong and praised Liu with a smile without hesitation. Dragon Road. At the same time, Long Xiaoyao also thought about who Liu Erlong was, and how he could be so beautiful. Liu Erlong's face was slightly pale due to serious injuries and exhaustion of soul power. His facial features were exquisite and moving, his eyebrows were picturesque, his skin was as fair as jade, and his big black eyes were bright and bright. Her soft 3000 green hair naturally hangs down to her waist, adding a bit of beauty. She was wearing a simple blue sarong. Although it had many tatters due to fighting the explosive bear first and then fighting 6 people from the Haoshan sect, her perfect and sexy figure was outlined, looks not only sexy and charming, but also charming. Regardless of appearance or figure, Liu Erlong is not inferior to Bibi Dong and Ah Yin at all. But if we talk about sexy, Bibi Dong and Ah Yin are still sexier. Because Liu Erlong not only didn't wear stockings on her, but also didn't expose her beautiful legs and even her jade arms. Who are you? What do you want to do? Liu Erlong stared at Long Xiaoyao warily, as if he was on guard against wolves. Because of her experience, she felt that men were all lustful, heartless, and unrighteous men who pursued fame and fortune, and none of them were good. She felt that Long Xiaoyao must be the same as the 6 people from Haoshan sect. He must want to snatch the explosive bear she hunted, and he also fell in love with her beauty and coveted her beauty. Otherwise, how could he suddenly appear? Woolen cloth. And based on the fact that Long Xiaoyao could kick away the Soul Emperor of the Haoshan sect with one kick, and had a small iron ball that could instantly kill 6 members of the Haoshan sect, she felt that Long Xiaoyao was definitely not an ordinary person. She is now seriously injured and her soul power is exhausted. She knew that if Long Xiaoyao raped her now, she would neither be able to escape nor resist, and would only become Long Xiaoyao's plaything. End of this chapter. Period. Chapter 90 Healing Liu Erlong's Injury. Girl, don't be nervous. My surname is Long and I am a doctor. I heard someone fighting here just now, so I came to take a look at the situation and found that it was people from the Haoshan sect fighting with you, because I and the Haoshan sect are enemies, and I saw that the people of the Haoshan sect were plotting against you, so I took action to kill them. Long Xiaoyao looked into Liu Erlong's eyes and said truthfully. I see. Liu Erlong nodded. She looked into Long Xiaoyao's eyes and was very surprised when she heard Long Xiaoyao's words. She felt that Long Xiaoyao was not lying, because she found that Long Xiaoyao's eyes were different from those of other men. He was not staring at her pretty face and body, but looking at her eyes, which did not make her feel disgusted like other men. She never expected that Long Xiaoyao, instead of directly raping her, would explain it to her so honestly. In addition, it was Long Xiaoyao who saved her, so her first impression of Long Xiaoyao was pretty good, and she somewhat relaxed her vigilance towards Long Xiaoyao. But she hasn't completely believed in Long Xiaoyao yet, because she doesn't believe that a man has a good thing. Thank you Mr. Long for your life-saving grace. Liu Erlong thanked Long Xiaoyao. Originally, she wanted to apologize to Long Xiaoyao, but as soon as she bent her knees, the injury on her leg was touched and she couldn't help but scream out. Girl, you are seriously injured now. There are many wounds on your body. I carry some healing medicine with me. Why don't you let me help you heal your wounds? Long Xiaoyao asked with a smile when he saw that Liu Erlong had relaxed some of his vigilance towards him. Long Xiaoyao saw that Liu Erlong didn't completely believe him yet. He knew that if he approached rashly, it would only arouse Liu Erlong's resentment, so he did not walk directly into Liu Erlong. Although he was curious about who Liu Erlong was and how he could be so beautiful, Long Xiaoyao knew that now was not the time to ask about Liu Erlong's identity. The first priority was to help Liu Erlong heal his injuries. We have Mr. Liu Erlong here. Liu Erlong saw that although Long Xiaoyao was ordinary, he was polite and personable, and he did not rape her when she was seriously injured and her soul power was exhausted, nor did he snatch the explosive bear from her injury. Although she also had medicine to heal her injuries, she was seriously injured now. It was already very strenuous just to move, and she couldn't heal her injuries at all. After thinking about it for a moment, she nodded. Then Liu Erlong sat down directly and asked Long Xiaoyao to help her heal her injuries. Seeing Liu Erlong's agreement, Long Xiaoyao walked towards Liu Erlong, walked in front of Liu Erlong, and squatted down. Then Long Xiaoyao first took out various medicines and bandages needed to help Liu Erlong heal his injuries from the space ring, and put them aside. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao poured the hand sanitizer onto his hands and began to disinfect them using the 7-step hand washing method. Looking at the various medicines Long Xiaoyao took out and watching Long Xiaoyao washing his hands using the 7-step hand washing technique, Liu Erlong had a question mark on his face. She had never seen a doctor do this before. "Girl, I'm going to start." "I'm offended," after washing his hands. Long Xiaoyao first said to Liu Erlong. Because Douluo continent still has the concept of men and women not being intimate, and Liu Erlong has many wounds on his body. If he heals Liu Erlong's wounds, he will definitely touch Liu Erlong's body, so Long Xiaoyao first follows Liu Erlong said hello. Liu Erlong nodded slightly and agreed. After getting Liu Erlong's consent, Long Xiaoyao picked up a pair of scissors and first lifted up Liu Erlong's dress, revealing Liu Erlong's beautiful legs wrapped in blue tights. Liu Erlong's beautiful legs are long and slender and look very sexy and charming. However, Long Xiaoyao has not only seen the beautiful legs of Liu Erlong, but also the beautiful legs of Ah Yin and Bibi Dong, who are equally sexy and charming. He has even seen the beautiful legs of BG and ZG, who are even more sexy and charming, and he has done nothing like that. So Long Xiaoyao didn't get excited because of seeing Liu Erlong's beautiful legs. Instead, he checked the wounds on Liu Erlong's beautiful legs that were scratched by the explosive bear. Without too many words or too many movements, Long Xiaoyao began to cut the tights around the wound on Liu Erlong's beautiful leg, completely exposing the wound so that he could help Liu Erlong apply medicine. Liu Erlong looked at Long Xiaoyao seriously exposing his wounds and constantly touching her beautiful legs. She felt extremely shy and her pretty face quickly turned red. Because Liu Erlong has not had a father since she was born. She has been dependent on her mother since she was a child and lived a very poor life. In her childhood, her father was never seen. She once asked her mother where her father was, but her mother said she didn't know, only that her father said that one day, her father would come back to pick up her mother, so that they could wait in peace. However, when Liu Erlong was 10 years old, her mother died of overwork, but her father still did not appear. Liu Erlong also learned that her mother was deceived by her father, and both mother and daughter were abandoned by his mother. From that time on, she had hated her father to death, and she had extended this hatred to all men. She felt that all men were chasing fame and fortune, greedy for money, lustful, unkind and unjust. Therefore, Liu Erlong has never let any man touch a finger of hers, let alone her beautiful legs. If she hadn't seen that Long Xiaoyao was really dedicated to exposing her wounds and didn't take the opportunity to eat her tofu, she would have fought with Long Xiaoyao. Finally helping Liu Erlong completely expose the wound on his beautiful leg, Long Xiaoyao first picked up a cotton ball, which was covered with disinfectant. "I'm going to help you disinfect it. It's going to be very painful. Just bear with it." Long Xiaoyao reminded Liu Erlong that his disinfectant was very effective, but relatively painful. So he warned Liu Erlong in advance. "Well, come on," Liu Erlong hummed softly, indicating that he was ready. With Liu Erlong's consent, Long Xiaoyao first gently touched Liu Erlong's wound with a cotton ball soaked in disinfectant. Although Liu Erlong was well prepared, she didn't expect it to be so painful. She couldn't help but scream and retracted her legs uncontrollably. "Are you sure you are helping me heal my injuries and not aggravating them?" Liu Erlong asked Long Xiaoyao suspiciously, because it hurt too much? And she now seriously suspected that Long Xiaoyao was aggravating her injury instead of helping her heal it. "Of course I'm helping you heal your wounds. I'm helping you disinfect now. My disinfectant is very effective, but it can also sting very much, but after I disinfect you and apply my healing medicine on you, you won't feel the pain anymore, and I guarantee that your wound will be completely healed in less than 3 days, and there won't be any scars left," Long Xiaoyao explained patiently, and his words were full of confidence. He could understand why Liu Erlong doubted him, but he was not angry because of it. Otherwise, why would he be a doctor? How could he catch up with all the goddesses? Is it really going to leave no scars? Liu Erlong felt that Long Xiaoyao was not lying, and when he heard Long Xiaoyao said that there would be no scars, his eyes suddenly lit up and he asked Long Xiaoyao. As a girl, how could Liu Erlong not cherish her body? Of course she didn't want to leave scars. "I promise," Long Xiaoyao said confidently that he was very confident in the medicine he made. Then continue, but be gentle, it's too painful. Liu Erlong put his legs in front of Long Xiaoyao and told Long Xiaoyao, no problem, but in order to prevent you from continuing to move around and missing the best opportunity for treatment, I had to take offense, Long Xiaoyao said first, and then directly used his free left hand to hold Liu Erlong's calf, fixing Liu Erlong's beautiful legs to prevent Liu Erlong from moving around again. Liu Erlong suddenly felt very shy, but in order to heal his wounds, and Long Xiaoyao didn't take the opportunity to touch her legs, he didn't say anything. After fixing Liu Erlong's legs, Long Xiaoyao continued to disinfect Liu Erlong. Liu Erlong suddenly felt an extremely stinging pain and couldn't help but scream, we met Liu Erlong. Beer and Zir are coming back soon. What will happen next? I want to see Liu Erlong's reverse deduction, I want to see Liu Erlong's dunk, I want to see Beer, Zir and Longer's dunk 3 in Shura Field. End of this chapter. Chapter 91. Promise yourself. When Liu Erlong heard that his cry was very moving, he quickly covered his mouth, but unexpectedly he let out an even more exciting cry. Liu Erlong's pretty face turned even redder, because she had never screamed like this since she was a child, let alone in front of a man. Now that she screamed like this in front of Long Xiaoyao, she felt very shy. Liu Erlong also wanted to control himself and not scream out, but the effect of Long Xiaoyao's disinfectant was so good, it also stung extremely, just like spreading salt or chili powder on the wound. Liu Erlong I just couldn't help it. Although Liu Erlong's cry was very exciting, Long Xiaoyao was a doctor and was currently helping Liu Erlong clean his wounds. How could he be affected by Liu Erlong's cry? Moreover, Long Xiaoyao has also heard more ecstatic screams than Liu Erlong's current screams. Therefore, Liu Erlong's cry had no impact on Long Xiaoyao at all. He was still concentrating on cleaning Liu Erlong's wounds. At the same time, he was also firmly pressing Liu Erlong's beautiful legs that were trying so hard to break away from him to prevent Liu Erlong from breaking free. The dragon moves erratically. Soon, Long Xiaoyao consumed the poison for Liu Erlong. He threw the cotton ball aside, then picked up the bottle containing the powdered healing medicine and poured it onto the wound on Liu Erlong's beautiful leg. Okay, as soon as the healing medicine touched the wound on Liu Erlong's leg, she immediately felt that the pain in the wound disappeared, and she also felt very warm and comfortable, and she breathed a sigh of relief. Long Xiaoyao felt that Liu Erlong's beautiful legs were no longer trying to break away from him, so he let go of Liu Erlong's calf, picked up the bandage, and started to bandage Liu Erlong's wound. I didn't expect that Mr. Long was so different from other men. Liu Erlong saw that Long Xiaoyao was concentrating on bandaging her wounds, and even though he heard the exciting cry she just made, he didn't do anything excessive to her. Although Mr. Long looks ordinary, he is much more handsome than those handsome men. Liu Erlong is not from the Appearance Association, otherwise she would not have fallen in love with the ordinary-looking guy with a short head in the original work. Liu Erlong looked at Long Xiaoyao and felt that Long Xiaoyao had no other shortcomings except that he looked ordinary. However, she felt that Long Xiaoyao was also very handsome, and her favorability towards Long Xiaoyao skyrocketed. Soon, Long Xiaoyao bandaged Liu Erlong's wound, and the bandage was very beautiful. Liu Erlong was very satisfied with it. Girl, I'm going to help you deal with the wound on the other leg. Please bear with me, Long Xiaoyao reminded Liu Erlong. Liu Erlong nodded. Excuse me, Long Xiaoyao first picked up the cotton ball, which was covered with disinfectant, and said to Liu Erlong, and then directly held the calf of Liu Erlong's other injured leg to prevent Liu Erlong from moving. Liu Erlong gritted his teeth, trying to control himself from making the same noise as before. Yet, however, despite being prepared, Liu Erlong couldn't help but let out an exciting cry. Even though she covered her mouth, she still couldn't help but scream. Soon, Long Xiaoyao treated the wound on Liu Erlong's other beautiful leg and bandaged it. He also pulled up Liu Erlong's dress and covered Liu Erlong's beautiful leg. Girl, the wound on your abdomen is relatively large. Can I help you with it? Long Xiaoyao looked into Liu Erlong's eyes and asked Liu Erlong. Liu Erlong nodded. After letting Long Xiaoyao help her deal with the wounds on her beautiful legs, she now completely trusted Long Xiaoyao. She believed that Long Xiaoyao would not take the opportunity to eat her. Liu Erlong lay directly on the ground so that Long Xiaoyao could help her treat the wound on her abdomen. At the same time, Liu Erlong felt very nervous, and her pretty face turned redder. She gritted her teeth and prepared herself to prevent strange sounds from coming out. Because Long Xiaoyao helped her expose the wound, he would definitely touch her abdomen, but she had never let a man touch her hands, let alone a private place like her abdomen. She felt very shy and worried that I couldn't help but make strange noises. "Excuse me." Long Xiaoyao picked up the scissors, said to Liu Erlong first, and then started to cut open the clothes on Liu Erlong's abdomen to help Liu Erlong expose the wound. Liu Erlong couldn't help but make a strange sound, and her pretty face became even redder. Because every time Long Xiaoyao touched her abdomen, she felt itchy where she was touched, and there was a strange feeling that made her make strange noises uncontrollably. "Girl, can you tell me your name?" Long Xiaoyao asked Liu Erlong with a smile. He wanted to divert Liu Erlong's attention through chatting so that Liu Erlong would not be so shy. At the same time, he also wanted to know who Liu Erlong was and why he was so beautiful. "My name is Liu Erlong." Liu Erlong directly told Long Xiaoyao her name. If it were any other man, Liu Erlong would have been too lazy to deal with it. However, she had a very good impression of Long Xiaoyao, and Long Xiaoyao could be said to be her savior. She was willing to tell Long Xiaoyao her name. "My name is Liu Erlong." Long Xiaoyao was a little surprised, but the movements of his hands did not stop. Of course he knew who Liu Erlong was, but he never expected that the woman in front of him was none other than Liu Erlong. Because before the time travel, he watched Liu Erlong who appeared in the anime. He was depressed all day long, his eyes looked a little dull, and his temper was extremely hot, as if everyone owed her money. He knew that it was because of being raped, the result of Xiaogang's abandonment. But now Liu Erlong looks not only younger, more beautiful, sexy, but also has piercing eyes. At first glance, she looks like a bold and lively woman. He knew that this was because Liu Erlong did not meet Yu Xiaogang, did not fall in love with Yu Xiaogang, and was not abandoned by Yu Xiaogang. Long Xiaoyao was very glad that he had killed Yu Xiaogang before, not only saving Bibi Dong, but also saving Liu Erlong from Yu Xiaogang's harm. "This name sounds so nice." "It's a good name." Long Xiaoyao smiled and praised, saying that he really thought Liu Erlong's name sounded good, but he thought longer would sound even better. Long Xiaoyao planned to take all the goddesses. Now that he met Liu Erlong, of course he would not let Liu Erlong go. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's praise, Liu Erlong felt very happy and showed a bright smile. "Miss Liu, why are you here? And why are you fighting with the people of Haoshan sect?" Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao asked Liu Erlong with a smile, but the movements of his hands never stopped. And he kept exposing Liu Erlong's wounds. "I came here to hunt soul beasts." Liu Erlong began to explain the ins and outs of the matter to Long Xiaoyao. As she was talking, she was made angry by the people of the Haoshan sect. The more she talked about it, the more angry she became with the Haoshan sect. She almost forgot that Long Xiaoyao was helping her treat abdominal wounds. "That's it. I didn't expect the people of Haoshan sect to be so hateful." After hearing the whole story, Long Xiaoyao's impression of Haoshan sect became even worse. He did not expect that a disciple of the Haoshan sect would actually do such a thing. Fortunately, he encountered it, otherwise Liu Erlong would have suffered a terrible end. That is, Liu Erlong nodded, she very much agreed with Long Xiaoyao's point of view. "Thanks to Mr. Long for coming to the rescue, otherwise I would have been miserable today. I don't even know how to repay you." Liu Erlong was very grateful to Long Xiaoyao. She knew that if it weren't for Long Xiaoyao, she would be in purgatory on earth at the moment. She really didn't know how to repay Long Xiaoyao. Because she didn't think Long Xiaoyao was short of money, and Long Xiaoyao was much stronger than her. "You're welcome, Miss Liu. Haoshan sect and I are enemies, and I saw 6 of them beating one of you, so I took action. If Miss Liu really wants to repay me, then she can pledge herself to me," Long Xiaoyao said with a smile. At this moment, he had already taken a cotton ball stained with disinfectant in his hand. "What? Promised me, with my body?" Liu Erlong was stunned when she heard Long Xiaoyao's words. She had no idea that Long Xiaoyao would actually ask her to repay him like this. Yet, immediately afterwards, Liu Erlong let out another exciting scream. Chapter 92 Sacrifice. The reason why Liu Erlong screamed was because Long Xiaoyao took advantage of Liu Erlong's shock and directly began to disinfect the wound on Liu Erlong's abdomen. Liu Erlong suddenly felt an extremely stinging pain and couldn't bear it for a while. It was caused by shouting out. Oh! Liu Erlong quickly covered his mouth, but once again let out an even more exciting cry. However, Liu Erlong didn't care about how moving her scream was, nor did she care that Long Xiaoyao had just asked her to give her body to him. She tried her best to control her body and not move around, so that she could cooperate with Long Xiaoyao and let him help her disinfect a wound on the abdomen. Because she was worried that if she moved around, Long Xiaoyao would manually hold her down and control her body. In that case, whether Long Xiaoyao held down her body above the wound or held down her body below the wound, he would touch the more private parts of her body. Seeing that Liu Erlong was not moving, Long Xiaoyao did not hold down Liu Erlong's body, but started to disinfect Liu Erlong with both hands, which would make it much faster. Soon, Long Xiaoyao consumed the poison for Liu Erlong, and Liu Erlong suddenly felt less pain and breathed a sigh of relief. Long Xiaoyao threw away the cotton ball, picked up the medicine bottle, and began to help Liu Erlong apply medicine. When the medicinal powder was poured onto Liu Erlong's wound, she immediately felt that the pain in the wound disappeared, and she also felt very warm and comfortable. Mr. Long just said that he wanted me to pledge myself to him, probably to divert my attention so that he could help me disinfect. Liu Erlong looked at Long Xiaoyao, who was concentrating on helping her apply the medicine without making any unnecessary moves, and who didn't ask her if she would like to commit herself to him. She guessed that the reason why Long Xiaoyao just asked her to commit herself to him was because just to divert her attention. Mr. Long is so gentle. Liu Erlong felt that Long Xiaoyao was too gentle, and his favorability towards Long Xiaoyao skyrocketed again. Master Long, thank you, Liu Erlong said to Long Xiaoyao sincerely again. You're welcome, Miss Liu, Long Xiaoyao said with a smile, and at the same time he helped Liu Erlong up, picked up the bandage, and began to bandage Liu Erlong's wound. Then Miss Liu, are you willing to pledge yourself to me? Long Xiaoyao helped Liu Erlong bandage his wounds and asked Liu Erlong directly with a smile. What? You just said you wanted me to give you my life, wasn't it just to divert my attention so you could help me disinfect my wounds? Liu Erlong asked Long Xiaoyao in disbelief. She thought that Long Xiaoyao had just asked her to commit herself to him just to divert her attention. She never expected that Long Xiaoyao actually told the truth. I just said that I want you to pledge yourself to me, not only to divert your attention, but also to really ask if you are willing to pledge your body to me. Miss Liu is not only as beautiful as a fairy, but also has an impeccable figure. Anyone who is a man will be attracted to you, of course I'm not an exception. When I first saw you, I was attracted to you, Long Xiaoyao said with certainty. When Liu Erlong heard Long Xiaoyao's words, his pretty face turned even redder. However, instead of declining, his favorability towards Long Xiaoyao increased sharply. Because no girl doesn't like to be praised for their beauty by a man they like, and Liu Erlong is no exception. Liu Erlong was rescued by Long Xiaoyao. After discovering that Long Xiaoyao was very different from other men, he had a crush on Long Xiaoyao. Now that she heard Long Xiaoyao's praise, she felt very happy knowing that Long Xiaoyao was attracted to her from the beginning. However, Liu Erlong was a little hesitant. Because of her childhood experience, she felt that there was no good thing in men. She hasn't fully understood Long Xiaoyao yet. Although she finds that Long Xiaoyao is different from other men and has a good impression of Long Xiaoyao, she doesn't want to agree to commit herself to Long Xiaoyao yet. Miss Liu, there is no need to rush to agree or refuse. After all, we have only known each other for a short time, and we don't know each other very well yet. When we get to know each other better in the future, it won't be too late for Miss Liu to decide whether to agree or refuse. Long Xiaoyao smiled and said to Liu Erlong, although he has fallen in love with Liu Erlong, he does not want to kidnap Liu Erlong morally, as that would not truly capture Liu Erlong's heart. He wants Liu Erlong to truly fall in love with him like Ah Yin, Bibi Dong, BG and ZG, and truly capture Liu Erlong's heart. Liu Erlong nodded gently. She heard Long Xiaoyao's words and watched Long Xiaoyao carefully bandage her wounds, and never took the opportunity to eat her tofu. Her favorable impression of Long Xiaoyao increased again. Alright, after a while, Long Xiaoyao bandaged Liu Erlong's wound and put the medicine into the space ring. I'll help you over and let you kill the explosive bear and absorb the explosive bear's soul ring, Long Xiaoyao said to Liu Erlong. Roar, however, before Liu Erlong could answer, the explosive bear, which had recovered somewhat after a long rest, roared and rushed towards Liu Erlong and Long Xiaoyao. It planned to kill Liu Erlong, who injured it, and Long Xiaoyao, who rescued Liu Erlong. Master Long, be careful. Liu Erlong saw the explosive bear approaching quickly and was less than 20 meters away from Long Xiaoyao, and loudly reminded Long Xiaoyao. She wanted to help Long Xiaoyao stop the explosive bear, but because her injuries had not recovered, and her soul power had not recovered, she could not even stand up, let alone help Long Xiaoyao stop the explosive bear. Long Xiaoyao turned around calmly, looked into the eyes of the explosive bear, and stood quietly like this. Ka-ka-ka. When the explosive bear saw Long Xiaoyao's eyes, he felt a deep blood pressure in his heart. His body couldn't stop shaking, and his eyes changed from fierce to fearful. His limbs immediately touched the ground and he came to a sudden stop. The explosive bear left a long mark on the ground and stopped in front of Long Xiaoyao. Boom. Immediately afterwards, the explosive bear immediately knelt in front of Long Xiaoyao. His body could not stop shaking, and he looked up at Long Xiaoyao with pitiful eyes, begging for mercy from Long Xiaoyao. What? Liu Erlong looked at the explosive bear kneeling in front of Long Xiaoyao. She was stunned. She never expected that Long Xiaoyao would scare the explosive bear down with just a look. What the hell is going on here? Liu Erlong really couldn't figure out why Long Xiaoyao's momentum was so frightened that the explosive bear fell to his knees. Although Liu Erlong could not detect the aura of the Mao calf bloodline on Long Xiaoyao's body, the explosive bear looked into Long Xiaoyao's eyes and felt the aura of the Mao calf bloodline on Long Xiaoyao's body, and felt the extremely powerful bloodline suppression. It knew Long Xiaoyao is countless times more noble than it. Well, although this explosive bear is only over 3 years old, it is indeed very suitable as your soul ring. Long Xiaoyao looked at the explosive bear and nodded, showing a smile. Woo! Hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, the explosive bear roared directly. What? Liu Erlong was shocked again. She thought that the explosive bear was begging Long Xiaoyao for mercy. She had never seen a soul beast begging for mercy from a human. You said you wanted to sacrifice to Miss Liu. Long Xiaoyao was very shocked. He never expected that this explosive bear would actually tell him that he wanted to sacrifice it to Liu Erlong. That's right, the explosive bear was not begging Long Xiaoyao for mercy, but was suggesting to Long Xiaoyao in the soul beast language that it wanted to sacrifice to Liu Erlong. The explosive bear is a smart bear. It can feel that Long Xiaoyao's bloodline is extremely powerful, and he will definitely become a god on the future. The explosive bear saw that Long Xiaoyao was attracted to Liu Erlong, and after the battle with Liu Erlong just now, it believed that as long as Liu Erlong followed Long Xiaoyao, Liu Erlong could become a god on the future. If the explosive bear takes the initiative to sacrifice its soul to Liu Erlong, as long as Liu Erlong can become a god, it will have a chance to be resurrected and become even more powerful than it is now. Sacrifice. When Liu Erlong heard Long Xiaoyao's words, he had a question mark on his face and was extremely shocked at the same time. The question mark on her face was because she didn't know what sacrifice meant, and she was shocked because Long Xiaoyao seemed to understand what explosive bear said. Chapter 93. Are you Long Xiaoyao? Can a 10,000-year-old soul beast be sacrificed? Long Xiaoyao asked explosive bear in disbelief. Because when he watched the anime and the original work, he always saw soul beasts that were more than 10 years old, or soul beasts that took the form of humans and sacrificed them. Because he always thought that soul beasts could only be sacrificed after they were over 10 years old. Woo woo woo. Yes, after we reach the 10,000-year level, we can actively sacrifice, explosive bear answered Long Xiaoyao in the language of soul beasts. Woodgrass, is that purple-winged demon spider stupid? Why didn't you tell me that you could sacrifice it to danger? Long Xiaoyao couldn't help scolding the purple-winged demon spider he asked Bibi Dong to kill last time. If he had known that 10,000-year soul beasts could also be sacrificed, he would have directly asked the purple-winged demon spider to be sacrificed to Bibi Dong last time. Bibi Dong. That would not only make the soul ring more suitable for Bibi Dong, but also allow Bibi Dong to resurrect the purple-winged demon spider after Bibi Dong became a god, killing two birds with one stone. In fact, it's no wonder that the purple-winged demon spider was stupid. At that time, Long Xiaoyao directly activated Maoto's bloodline, and all the soul beasts in the Douluo continent knelt down to Long Xiaoyao. Even Yuena also bowed, and the purple-winged demon spider. The winged demon spider had long been too frightened to say anything. Danger. Who is Danger? Liu Erlong keenly noticed that Long Xiaoyao had just asked Bibi Dong to be her host. For a moment, he was extremely curious about Bibi Dong's identity, and he also felt something bad in his heart. Forget it, it's over anyway, you can sacrifice it to Miss Liu. When Miss Liu becomes a god on the future, I will let her resurrect you, Long Xiaoyao said to the explosive bear. Woohoo, okay, the explosive bear roared in reply, feeling much happier and began to prepare for the sacrifice. Miss Liu, this explosive bear is going to be sacrificed to you and become your soul ring. Please prepare, Long Xiaoyao turned around and said to Liu Erlong. Master Long, what does sacrifice mean? Why can you let me resurrect this explosive bear in the future, and why can you understand this explosive bear? Liu Erlong curiously asked Long Xiaoyao 3 times. She had never seen or heard of soul beast sacrifice, and she didn't know why Long Xiaoyao said that he would resurrect this explosive bear for her in the future. And she was very curious as to why Long Xiaoyao could understand what this explosive bear said. Sacrifice is when this explosive bear takes the initiative to sacrifice its soul ring and soul to you, and voluntarily becomes your soul ring. When you become a god on the future, you can help it reshape its body and release its soul, to bring it to life, Long Xiaoyao explained concisely. What? Liu Erlong was shocked when she heard Long Xiaoyao's words. Only then did she know what the sacrifice meant. Woo, sir, I'm ready, at this moment, Explosive Bear shouted to remind Long Xiaoyao. As for why I can understand the words of the Explosive Bear, I will tell you after you agree to give me your life in the future. You should accept the sacrifice of the Explosive Bear first, and I will help you protect the law, Long Xiaoyao said to Liu Erlong, and then stepped aside directly, letting the Explosive Bear sacrifice to Liu Erlong. Buzz, seeing Long Xiaoyao retreat to the side, the Explosive Bear directly began to sacrifice his soul to Liu Erlong. Liu Erlong still had many questions to ask Long Xiaoyao, but she felt that the soul ring of the Explosive Bear was automatically integrating into her body and became her 6th soul ring, so she put aside the questions in her heart, closed his eyes, and began to cooperate with the Explosive Bear sacrifice. Long Xiaoyao was quietly protecting Liu Erlong from the side. Half an hour passed quickly. Liu Erlong successfully accepted the sacrifice of the Explosive Bear and obtained the 6th soul ring without any difficulty. Liu Erlong showed a bright smile, because her level was upgraded by 1 level, to level 61. Her soul power has also recovered a lot, and the injuries on her legs and abdomen have also recovered a lot, and she can no longer feel pain when moving. Not bad, you've been promoted to another level. Congratulations, Miss Liu. Long Xiaoyao came to Liu Erlong and said to Liu Erlong with a smile. This is all thanks to Mr. Long, thank you very much. Liu Erlong sincerely thanked Long Xiaoyao. She knew that if it hadn't been for Long Xiaoyao, he would have probably been poisoned by the 6 members of the Haotian sect, and the Explosive Bear would not have taken the initiative to sacrifice it to her. Master Long, who are you? Why can you understand the words of the Explosive Bear? Liu Erlong curiously asked Long Xiaoyao. She knew that Long Xiaoyao was definitely not an ordinary person, otherwise Long Xiaoyao would not have understood what Explosive Bear said. Long Xiaoyao didn't want to hide anything from Liu Erlong, because he saw that Liu Erlong was a straightforward person and didn't like others to lie to her, so he directly lifted the illusion and returned to his original appearance. Are you actually Long Xiaoyao? Liu Erlong was extremely shocked when she saw Long Xiaoyao's true appearance. She never expected that Long Xiaoyao was actually the Long Xiaoyao on the Spirit Hall bounty order. Although this was the first time she saw Long Xiaoyao himself, she knew what Long Xiaoyao did, and she knew how powerful Long Xiaoyao was. Yes, I am Long Xiaoyao. Long Xiaoyao nodded very handsome. Looking up at Long Xiaoyao, Liu Erlong felt that Long Xiaoyao was much more handsome than the portrait on the reward order issued by Wuhun Palace, and she found that Long Xiaoyao had an unparalleled temperament and was very handsome and charming. Even though she was not a member of the Appearance Association, she was somewhat attracted to Long Xiaoyao. Then why do you understand what that Explosive Bear is saying? Liu Erlong asked Long Xiaoyao curiously. As long as you are willing to commit yourself to me and become my woman, I will tell you, because it's my biggest secret that I only tell my women, Long Xiaoyao replied with a smile. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, Liu Erlong's pretty face turned red. If another man said that to her, she would definitely greet him with a slap. But facing Long Xiaoyao, Not only did she not feel that she disliked Long Xiaoyao, but she was a little shy. Then who is Danger you just mentioned? Who is she to you? Liu Erlong asked Long Xiaoyao that although she was fascinated by Long Xiaoyao's handsomeness, she did not lose her wits because of it and was still very rational. She clearly remembered that Long Xiaoyao asked Bibi Dong to be a host just now. Danger is Bibi Dong, the former saint of Wuhun Palace. She is now my woman, Long Xiaoyao said truthfully. He was a little surprised. He didn't expect Liu Erlong to notice Bibi Dong he just mentioned. Your woman. If you put it that way, did you really hurt Jin's Unji just to snatch Bibi Dong? When Liu Erlong heard what Long Xiaoyao said, she asked Long Xiaoyao in surprise that she now somewhat believed what Wuhun Hall said in the reward order, and she also believed that Long Xiaoyao was the same as Wuhun Hall said, that he was a lecher. But she felt that things were not that simple. I injured Jin's Unji because of Danger, but it's not to snatch Danger away, but to save Danger, she. In order to eliminate Liu Erlong's misunderstanding and truly capture Liu Erlong's heart, Long Xiaoyao explained the whole story to Liu Erlong. So it is, I didn't expect Wuhun Palace to be so hateful. Not only did it use such despicable means to control Bibi Dong, but it also slandered your innocence. After listening to Long Xiaoyao's explanation, Liu Erlong couldn't help but scold Wuhun Palace. She believed Long Xiaoyao's words more than Wuhun Palace's reward order. She felt that Long Xiaoyao was not the lecher mentioned in the Wuhun Palace bounty order, otherwise Long Xiaoyao would not have been concentrating on healing her injuries just now, and he did not take advantage of her from the beginning to the end, but directly took advantage of her weakness. When she resisted, she should be raped directly. But don't you already have Bibi Dong? Why do you still want me to pledge myself to you? Liu Erlong asked Long Xiaoyao in confusion. She felt that Long Xiaoyao should not be a womanizer and should not ask her to commit herself to him. Chapter 94 Are there any men who are not lustful? Because you are as beautiful as a fairy, have a sexy and perfect figure, are upright and lively, dare to love and hate, and are not afraid of power. I am attracted to you and fall in love with you, so I want to get you, give you a warm embrace that you can rely on, and give you a warm home. Long Xiaoyao answered Liu Erlong affirmatively and truthfully. This was indeed his true feeling towards Liu Erlong and also his true thoughts now. He guessed that Liu Erlong should have been abandoned by Yu Luomian, otherwise Liu Erlong would not have known that Yu Xiaogang was her cousin, and he would not have come here to hunt the soul beast alone. Based on his guess about Liu Erlong's life experience and Liu Erlong's reactions just now, he knew that Liu Erlong should hate the ruthless and unjust and lustful people who always give up. He knew that he wanted to win Liu Erlong's heart. The most important thing is honesty, never deceive Liu Erlong. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's praise, Liu Erlong felt very happy in his heart. He couldn't help but raise the corners of his mouth with a happy smile. She saw that Long Xiaoyao was sincerely praising her, and she especially liked hearing Long Xiaoyao praise her. However, her favorability towards Long Xiaoyao dropped a lot. She didn't expect that Long Xiaoyao would want her to give her life to him even though he already had Bibi Dong. She confirmed that Long Xiaoyao was a lustful person like other men. But she was also sure that Long Xiaoyao was different from other men. He was not the kind of lecherous man who took advantage of others' danger and used his strength to force others, something she couldn't get enough of. Moreover, it was Long Xiaoyao who saved her just now. She had a good impression of Long Xiaoyao, and she felt compassion for him. What about Bibi Dong? Liu Erlong asked Long Xiaoyao. She was worried that Long Xiaoyao, like her father, was a ruthless and lustful person who would abandon Bibi Dong for her. She was even more worried that Long Xiaoyao was deceiving her just like her father deceived her mother, waiting to get her body and then abandon her. Don't worry, Danger won't object to us being together. Long Xiaoyao said confidently that he thought Liu Erlong had fallen in love with him, and Liu Erlong was worried that Bibi Dong would not be able to accept her. However, he believed that Bibi Dong would not object to him being with Liu Erlong, and he also believed that Ah Yin, Biji, and Ziji would not object to him being with Liu Erlong. If they dared to object, he would have to reason with them at night to let them know how much he loved them. No, I mean, are you planning to abandon Bibi Dong for me, or have you been deceiving me all along, waiting to get my body, and then abandon me? Liu Erlong directly questioned Long Xiaoyao, and then stared closely into Long Xiaoyao's eyes. She hoped that Long Xiaoyao was not such a heartless and lustful person, but she was also very worried that Long Xiaoyao was such a person because she felt that no man was good. Regardless of whether Long Xiaoyao chooses to abandon Bibi Dong or abandon her, she will never agree to commit herself to Long Xiaoyao. What she hates most is the heartless and lustful person. So you are worried about this? After hearing Liu Erlong's question, Long Xiaoyao realized that Liu Erlong was not worried that Bibi Dong would not be able to accept her, but that he was worried that he was a ruthless and lustful person who always gave up. Don't worry, I won't abandon Danger, and I'm not lying to you. I want to give you, Yuena, beer, and a warm home. Long Xiaoyao said with certainty that he would not abandon any of his women, and he would give his women a warm home. There are many goddesses who are not his women yet, but he has not included them, such as Yuena. He plans to wait until he catches them in the future and makes them his women before he counts them in the equation. Yuena, beer, they are your women too? Liu Erlong asked Long Xiaoyao in surprise, but she had already guessed the answer, but she didn't expect that Long Xiaoyao had 3 women besides Bibi Dong. Yes, Long Xiaoyao nodded. She did not intend to deceive Liu Erlong. Anyway, in Douluo continent, men can have 3 wives and 4 concubines, and he did not break the law. Yuena, you should have seen him. It's my accomplice on my reward order issued by Wuhun Palace. Beer and should be coming to me soon. You can see them soon. Long Xiaoyao smiled and said to Liu Erlong. You actually have so many women? Liu Erlong asked Long Xiaoyao in disbelief. She was now sure that Long Xiaoyao was a lustful person. Otherwise, how could Long Xiaoyao still want her to give her body to him when he had so many women? But whether Long Xiaoyao was a heartless and unrighteous person, she couldn't be sure just based on Long Xiaoyao's one-sided words. Oh. I know, you think I'm a womanizer, right? Long Xiaoyao asked Liu Erlong. Okay, Liu Erlong nodded with certainty. Then let me ask you, do you think there are any men who are not lewd? Long Xiaoyao asked again. No, Liu Erlong nodded with certainty. Correct, there is no man who is not lewd. As long as he is a man, he likes beautiful women, especially beautiful, sexy and charming beauties like you. If there is someone who doesn't like beautiful women, then he must not be a man. Long Xiaoyao said with certainty that as a man, of course he knew that men all like beautiful women from the bottom of their hearts, but some show it and some don't. Okay, Liu Erlong nodded. She very much agreed with Long Xiaoyao's words, especially when Long Xiaoyao said that she was as beautiful as a fairy, sexy and charming. She was particularly confident in her figure and appearance. But as the saying goes, a gentleman loves money and gets it wisely. My attitude towards beauties is the same. I don't deny that I don't like beauties, especially beauties like you who are as beautiful as gods and sexy, but I will not deceive you through deception, coercion or any other despicable means, because I not only want a body like yours, I also want to get your heart and make you my woman, and I will not abandon any of my women. I will give my women a warm embrace and a warm home. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao looked into Liu Erlong's eyes and said affectionately, with a serious look. Liu Erlong looked into Long Xiaoyao's eyes and couldn't feel that Long Xiaoyao was lying. She felt that Long Xiaoyao should be serious. She felt that Long Xiaoyao was different from other men, especially her father, and a heartless and lustful person. She also knew that in Douluo continent, men could have 3 wives and 4 concubines, and there was nothing wrong with Long Xiaoyao. She knew that Long Xiaoyao was very powerful and it was normal to have 3 wives and 4 concubines. Moreover, after Long Xiaoyao rescued her just now, he did not take the opportunity to rape her. Instead, he helped her heal her injuries and did not take the opportunity to eat her. Moreover, Long Xiaoyao was so honest to her, basically answered all her questions, and Long Xiaoyao was so handsome, she was a little attracted to Long Xiaoyao. She felt that Long Xiaoyao was different from other men. He was someone she could trust for life. But how do I know if you are lying to me? Liu Erlong asked Long Xiaoyao shyly. Although she was a little attracted to Long Xiaoyao, she had only known Long Xiaoyao for less than 2 hours. If she agreed to give her body to Long Xiaoyao like this, it would appear that she was too casual. She was worried that Long Xiaoyao would not cherish her in the future. Well, you're right to be worried, Long Xiaoyao nodded. He felt that Liu Erlong's words were reasonable. Although he would not abandon any of his women, he could only say it now. He could not prove to Liu Erlong that he would not abandon her in the future. The woman who abandoned him. After all, he cannot take Liu Erlong through time to the future, proving that he has not abandoned any of his women. Have you joined any sect force now? Do you have anything to do? Long Xiaoyao asked Liu Erlong that he was not sure what Liu Erlong's situation was now. No, Liu Erlong shook his head. She was now alone in the Soul Master world. She had not joined any force yet, and there was nothing she had to do. That's it, I'm going to the Star Luo Empire to do something now, so just follow me. I will prove that I am serious about you, Yuena, Danger, Beer, and Zir, and I will give you a warm home, Long Xiaoyao said to Liu Erlong with certainty. End of this chapter. Chapter 95. So hard. Seeing that Long Xiaoyao was so serious about proving to her, Liu Erlong saw that Long Xiaoyao really liked her, and she nodded with a blushing face. She wanted to see if Long Xiaoyao was worthy of her lifelong trust. If so, she was willing to commit herself to Long Xiaoyao. Okay, just wait for me. Seeing that Liu Erlong agreed, Long Xiaoyao turned directly to the explosive bear, showing a wolf-like smile. Such good bear meat can't be wasted. Let's make a roasted bear tonight. Long Xiaoyao walked directly to the explosive bear and put the explosive bear's body into the space ring. You must be hungry now, right? Let's find a place with clear water first, and I'll make roasted bears for you to eat. Long Xiaoyao walked up to Liu Erlong again and said to Liu Erlong with a smile. You know how to make roasted bear. Bear meat is very hard. Liu Erlong was a little surprised and asked Long Xiaoyao that she knew how to cook and always cooked for herself. She knew that bear meat was very hard and she was not sure how to cook a roasted bear. Of course. There's no barbecue I can't cook, Long Xiaoyao said proudly. Then I'll have to look forward to it, Liu Erlong smiled. Seeing that Long Xiaoyao was so confident, she was looking forward to the roasted bear that Long Xiaoyao made. Don't worry, I promise I won't let you down, plop. As soon as he finished speaking, Long Xiaoyao directly summoned the Suzaku Soul Bone and Suzaku Wings behind him. Suddenly, a pair of blood-red bright wings appeared behind Long Xiaoyao, looking like red wings filled with blood. Like crystal wings, it is very dazzling and charming. What beautiful wings! When Liu Erlong saw Long Xiaoyao's Suzaku wings, he felt they were particularly beautiful and was instantly attracted to them. Your legs and abdomen are injured now, making it difficult for you to walk. Let me carry you and fly, Long Xiaoyao said to Liu Erlong with a smile, and then without waiting for Liu Erlong's reply, he directly picked up Liu Erlong in a princess hug and flew into the sky. What? Long Xiaoyao's movements were skillful and done in one go. Liu Erlong didn't react at all, and Liu Erlong screamed in fright. By the time Liu Erlong reacted, she was already held tightly in Long Xiaoyao's arms and flew into the sky. Her hands hugged Long Xiaoyao's neck tightly out of fear. Her head was pressed against Long Xiaoyao's chest out of fear. So tough. How come Long Xiaoyao's muscles are so hard? Plop, plop, being held by Long Xiaoyao, pressed against Long Xiaoyao's chest, smelling Long Xiaoyao's unique masculine scent, and feeling Long Xiaoyao's strong muscles, Liu Erlong's heartbeat became faster as if he stepped on the accelerator. Her pretty face also turned red, like a ripe red apple, making people salivate and want to take a bite. This was the first time Liu Erlong was hugged by a man, and it was the first time he felt the muscles of Long Xiaoyao's arms and chest. He was shocked. However, Liu Erlong felt safe with Long Xiaoyao in his arms, and she was not afraid at all. Why are you like this? I haven't agreed yet, and you just picked me up, Liu Erlong shyly asked Long Xiaoyao, saying that she was a little angry that Long Xiaoyao picked her up directly without her consent, and held her in a princess hug. Although she had moved her head away from Long Xiaoyao's head, she did not dare to look directly into Long Xiaoyao's eyes. Because she knew her face must be very red now. And she didn't dare let Long Xiaoyao see it. She didn't dare to let go of Long Xiaoyao's neck or move around, because she had never flown before, and she was worried that she would fall, so it felt safer to hold Long Xiaoyao's neck tightly. Because whether you agree or not, I will fly with you in my arms. I can't bear to let you walk by yourself now, otherwise I will feel bad, Long Xiaoyao said seriously. If Liu Erlong was allowed to walk by himself now, would he still be considered a man? Long Xiaoyao takes action when it's time to take action and doesn't care too much. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, feeling Long Xiaoyao's concern, and finding that Long Xiaoyao did not take the opportunity to eat her tofu, Liu Erlong felt very happy in his heart, with a sweet smile on his face, and he was not angry at all. The scenery below is very beautiful when viewed from the sky. Don't miss it, Long Xiaoyao reminded Liu Erlong with a smile. Really, After hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, Liu Erlong stuck his head out and looked down. So beautiful, Liu Erlong was instantly attracted by the scenery below. She never imagined that the ordinary mountains, flowing water, roads and jungles would become so small when viewed from the sky, like a painting beauty. And she was lying in Long Xiaoyao's arms, letting Long Xiaoyao hold her and fly quickly, watching the rapidly changing scenery below. It felt very novel, and she was very happy. How is it? I didn't lie to you, did I? Isn't it particularly beautiful? Long Xiaoyao asked Liu Erlong with a smile. Okay, Liu Erlong nodded. If you like, I can often take you to see the scenery from the sky in the future, Long Xiaoyao continued. Really? Liu Erlong looked at Long Xiaoyao expectantly. She especially liked the feeling of looking at the scenery below from the sky, and completely ignored other issues for a while. Of course, I never break my promise, Long Xiaoyao said with a smile. Liu Erlong saw Long Xiaoyao's smile and noticed again that she was lying in Long Xiaoyao's arms. She realized that if Long Xiaoyao often took her to see the scenery from the sky in the future, she would often let Long Xiaoyao hold her in his arms. She suddenly felt very shy. But she didn't say no, because she not only liked to see the scenery from the sky, but also liked the feeling of having Long Xiaoyao hold her. There's a clean river over there. Let's rest by that river tonight. Long Xiaoyao hugged Liu Erlong directly and flew towards the small river he saw. Okay? Rest by that small river tonight? How to rest? Sleep by the river together. Liu Erlong was shocked and nervous when she heard Long Xiaoyao's words. She had never rested with a man or even a woman before. However, before Liu Erlong could ask Long Xiaoyao had already carried Liu Erlong and flew to the river. Boom! Without putting Liu Erlong down, Long Xiaoyao directly called up the small villa he had obtained after rescuing Wuhun Hall a few days ago. Suddenly, a beautiful small villa with a house, swimming pool, and garden fell in front of Long Xiaoyao and Liu Erlong. This is a house. Liu Erlong was shocked when she saw the small villa that suddenly appeared. She never thought that Long Xiaoyao could summon such a big small villa. She immediately knew that when Long Xiaoyao said resting by the river, he meant resting in the small villa in front of him, not resting together by the river, and she suddenly felt very shy. This is my villa. I usually keep it in my space ring. Let's go in, Long Xiaoyao said with a smile. Wait, please let me down. I can go in by myself, Liu Erlong said quickly, and at the same time let go of Long Xiaoyao's neck, planning to get down and walk into the small villa by himself. Good, don't move, you don't cherish your body, but I still cherish it. I won't allow you to torture your body, Long Xiaoyao said gently but firmly. How could he let Liu Erlong go by himself? He hugged Liu Erlong tightly and walked directly into the small villa. Liu Erlong has never received real care from others since her mother died. When she heard Long Xiaoyao's words, she felt that Long Xiaoyao hugged her even tighter. She could feel that Long Xiaoyao really cared about her. She felt particularly happy, showed a happy smile, and let Long Xiaoyao hold her. Long Xiaoyao carried Liu Erlong to the lounge chair next to the swimming pool, and gently placed Liu Erlong on the lounge chair. Wait for me here for a while, and I'll get you something to drink, Long Xiaoyao smiled and said to Liu Erlong, and then walked directly into the house. Wait a minute, Long Xiaoyao seemed to be talking about you just now. After Long Xiaoyao entered the house, Liu Erlong noticed that Long Xiaoyao was talking about you just now, with a question mark on his face. Who are you? Why does Xiaoyao hug you with a princess hug? Just when Liu Erlong was confused, she heard a female voice that was as sweet as a harp, but sounded a little angry coming from the sky. End of this chapter. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 96 Jealous Xiaozir. Sister ZG, don't be so angry. She is our new sister. We have to get along well with her. Immediately afterwards, another sound as sweet and refreshing as a clear spring sounded. What two beautiful women. Following the sound, Liu Erlong looked up to the sky and saw Brigitte and Ziggy slowly falling from the sky like fairies descending to earth. He was shocked and deeply attracted by the beauty, figure and temperament of Brigitte and Ziggy. She felt that BG and ZG were so beautiful. Liu Erlong was originally very confident in his appearance and figure. But when she saw Brigitte and Ziggy, she found that she was inferior to Brigitte and Ziggy in terms of appearance and figure. Moreover, she also felt that Brigitte had a very elegant and noble temperament, and she felt that Ziggy had a noble and cold temperament. It made her feel that Brigitte and Ziggy could only watch from a distance, but not play with him. Ziggy has a unique temperament that she doesn't have. If she hadn't seen it with her own eyes, it would be hard for her to believe that there was such a beautiful woman in this world. Humph, even if she is our new sister, she is still our sister. She has to be ranked behind us and she has to be called our sister, Ziggy said to Biji angrily. Biji and Ziggy just came to see Long Xiaoyao. From a distance, they saw that Long Xiaoyao not only restored his original appearance, but also hugged Liu Erlong as a princess, and even brought Liu Erlong into the small villa, so they all felt that Liu Erlong was already Long Xiaoyao's woman. Because they all knew that it was impossible for Long Xiaoyao to return to his original appearance in front of outsiders, let alone hug outsiders. Ziggy never expected that just one day after leaving Long Xiaoyao would find another Liu Erlong. What's more important is that Ziggy is very sure that Long Xiaoyao and Liu Erlong have never known each other for more than a day, but Long Xiaoyao has already used the princess to hug Liu Erlong. She and Long Xiaoyao have known each other for several days, and she is even Long Xiaoyao's woman, but Long Xiaoyao has never given her a princess hug. She was very angry about this. She was jealous of Liu Erlong, so she was very hostile to Liu Erlong. While talking, Biji and Ziggy had already fallen in front of Liu Erlong's stare. Ziggy stared at Liu Erlong and looked at it carefully. "Sister, are you injured? Let me help you heal." Biji found that Liu Erlong was seriously injured, so she walked directly in front of Liu Erlong, mobilized her soul power, and prepared to help Liu Erlong heal his injuries. Biji is gentle and kind. Although she is a little jealous because Long Xiaoyao has only known Liu Erlong for a day and has already hugged Liu Erlong as a princess, but he has never hugged her as a princess. But when she saw Liu Erlong was seriously injured, she immediately put all this behind her and just wanted to help Liu Erlong heal his injuries quickly. Liu Erlong was very curious about the identities of Biji and Ziggy, but she could already guess that Biji and Ziggy should be the beer and Zier that Long Xiaoyao said. Because Long Xiaoyao just said that Biji and Ziggy would come to Long Xiaoyao soon, and she felt that Biji was not hostile to her at all. Although she felt that Ziggy was hostile to her, she had no murderous intention, so she was not on guard against Brigitte and Ziggy. "My name is Biji, and her name is Ziggy. We are both happy women just like you." Green light wave, Brigitte introduced, and then directly used her healing soul skill. Her hands were suddenly filled with green light waves, wrapping Liu Erlong and healing Liu Erlong. Liu Erlong suddenly felt very comfortable all over his body, and he also felt that the injuries on his body were recovering quickly. Liu Erlong felt that Biji was very kind, and she felt very happy when she heard Biji say that she was Long Xiaoyao's woman just like them. You are very beautiful and have a very good figure. You can become a carefree woman." Liu Erlong just wanted to say that she was not Long Xiaoyao's woman yet, but was interrupted by Ziggy. Liu Erlong was very happy when he heard Ziggy's words and was recognized by Ziggy. "But Sister Brigitte and I will become happy women before you. You have to call me and Sister Brigitte your sisters, and you have to listen to us when things happen. Do you understand?" Immediately afterwards, Ziggy said to Liu Erlong with a victor's look. She wanted Liu Erlong to know that although Liu Erlong had been hugged by Long Xiaoyao as a princess, she still became Long Xiaoyao's woman before Liu Erlong, and was Liu Erlong's sister. "Sister, please ignore Sister Ziggy, she is jealous of you, because none of us have been hugged by Xiaoyao as a princess yet, and you should have only known Xiaoyao for less than a day, but you have been hugged by Xiaoyao as a princess for so long." Biji helped Liu Erlong heal his injuries and said to Liu Erlong with a smile. Although Biji was a little jealous, she felt that since Liu Erlong, like them, was already Long Xiaoyao's woman, she wanted to get along well with Liu Erlong. "Sister Brigitte, why are you turning your elbows outward and instead of helping me, are you helping her?" When Ziggy saw that Biji had exposed her directly, a blush appeared on her pretty face, and she asked Biji angrily. "We are both happy women and sisters. How can you say that my elbows are turned outward?" Biji smiled and asked Ziggy. Ziggy was speechless and didn't know what to say. Giggle, Liu Erlong couldn't help laughing and showed a happy smile. Not only was Ziggy rendered speechless by Brigitte, but she also felt that Brigitte was very kind to her, And although ZG seemed to have been causing trouble for her, like Bridget, she felt that she is Long Xiaoyao's woman, and everyone recognizes her. Liu Erlong has never felt the feeling of being truly cared about by anyone since her mother died. She could feel that Long Xiaoyao and BG really cared about her, and she could also feel that ZG was jealous of her and had no hostility towards her, which made her very happy. You laugh at me, okay? How quickly did you team up to bully me? ZG's face turned red with anger and she stamped her feet in anger. She thought that BG had abandoned her and joined forces with Liu Erlong to exclude her. She thought that Liu Erlong was making fun of her jealousy and showing off that he could let Long Xiaoyao hug her like a princess after just knowing Long Xiaoyao for one day. Who is so bold? How dare you bully my Zir? At this moment, Long Xiaoyao walked out of the house with 4 different drinks on a plate. Happy, BG, ZG and Liu Erlong heard Long Xiaoyao's voice, and then noticed Long Xiaoyao coming out. Xiaoyao, you have to help me. Sister BG and the new sister bully me and laugh at me together. ZG quickly ran to Long Xiaoyao's side and cried to Long Xiaoyao, looking very pitiful. Oh. How did they laugh at you? Long Xiaoyao put the plate on the table and asked ZG with a smile. Happy, they? Long Xiaoyao, what? BG and Liu Erlong were just about to explain the ins and outs of the matter. ZG was just about to explain how BG and Liu Erlong laughed at her, but ZG was suddenly picked up by Long Xiaoyao in a princess hug. ZG was so scared that she couldn't bear it. There were screams. BG and Liu Erlong were startled by ZG's scream. Although Long Xiaoyao was in the house just now, he could clearly hear the conversation between BG, ZG and Liu Erlong. He knew that the best way to solve the problem at this moment was to hold ZG and BG in a princess hug. He plans to start with ZG. Plop. Long Xiaoyao directly summoned the blood-red Suzuka wings and prepared to carry ZG to fly in the sky. Are you ready? My favorite is jealous little Zir, Long Xiaoyao asked ZG with a smile. Although ZG knew that Long Xiaoyao already knew that she was jealous, she was very happy to be hugged by Long Xiaoyao as a princess, so she ignored it, hugged Long Xiaoyao's neck tightly, and nodded. He showed an excited smile. Whoosh! Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao waved with Suzuka wings and flew into the sky with ZG in his arms. End of this chapter. Chapter 97 The Strongest Wingman. Alice, at a fast speed, in the air, ZG was held by Long Xiaoyao and flew. She felt very excited inside, showed a bright smile, and couldn't help but cheer. Although ZG could fly, she found that being held by Long Xiaoyao was much more comfortable and more interesting than flying by herself. She liked this feeling very much. Seeing ZG so excited, Long Xiaoyao knew that his choice was indeed right. Zir, Long Xiaoyao called ZG. What happened? Okay, ZG heard Long Xiaoyao suddenly calling her and looked at Long Xiaoyao curiously, but was suddenly kissed on the mouth by Long Xiaoyao. She was startled and couldn't help but let out a blood-boiling moan. However, instead of being angry, ZG felt extremely happy. She took the initiative to kiss Long Xiaoyao, and her jealousy towards Liu Erlong disappeared immediately. Zir, hold me tight, I'm going to speed up. Whoosh! After letting go of ZG's jade mouth, Long Xiaoyao reminded ZG with a smile, and then directly accelerated his flying speed, holding ZG and flying quickly in the air. By the way, sister, can you tell me your name? I don't know your name yet. Beside the swimming pool, BG asked Liu Erlong with a smile while helping Liu Erlong heal his injuries. My name is Liu Erlong. After hearing BG's words and seeing BG's smile, Liu Erlong felt that he could not refuse to answer BG's question, so he directly told BG her name. It turns out to be Sister Erlong. Sister ZG has no ill intentions towards you, but Xiaoyao has never given her a princess hug before. She is just jealous of you. Don't take what Sister ZG just said to heart. Since we are both happy women, let us get along well in the future. BG smiled and said to Liu Erlong. Hearing BG's words and seeing BG's smile, Liu Erlong felt that BG was not only noble and elegant, but also very kind. She couldn't refuse BG at all and nodded directly. Wait a minute, Miss BG, you and Miss ZG seem to have misunderstood. I'm not young Master Long's woman yet. The reason why young Master Long hugged me in a princess hug is because my legs and abdomen were injured and I couldn't walk, so young Master Long hugged me. After Liu Erlong reacted, he immediately explained to BG. Although she was very happy that both Bridget and ZG agreed with her, she didn't want to deceive Bridget. However, She also remembered what Long Xiaoyao said to her when he hugged her, and the care that Long Xiaoyao had for her. Her pretty face turned red, and she felt very happy inside, showing a sweet smile. Oh, BG was a little surprised. Only now did she realize that she and ZG had misunderstood Liu Erlong, which made her a little embarrassed. However, she saw Liu Erlong smile and saw that Liu Erlong was interested in Long Xiaoyao. She guessed that Liu Erlong might have fallen in love with Long Xiaoyao like they did before. Seeing that Liu Erlong was so honest, she also fell in love with Liu Erlong. So Miss Bridget doesn't need to call me Sister Erlong, just call me by my name. Immediately afterwards, Liu Erlong said to Biji again. The smile on his face disappeared, replaced by disappointment. Because Liu Erlong found that she was not as good as BG and ZG in terms of appearance and temperament. And she knew that BG and ZG must be very strong, at least titled Douluo level experts, otherwise they wouldn't have flown down from the sky. Therefore, Liu Erlong has a little inferiority complex. She feels that she is not worthy of Long Xiaoyao. She is very entangled in her heart now. She doesn't know whether she should agree to commit herself to Long Xiaoyao. It doesn't matter, I'll just call you Sister Erlong, BG said to Liu Erlong with a smile, and at the same time withdrew her soul power, because she had healed all Liu Erlong's injuries, and now Liu Erlong's wounds have completely recovered without any scars. Huh? Why? Liu Erlong looked at BG very puzzledly. Because you are so beautiful and have such a good figure, Xiaoyao must have taken a liking to you. Otherwise he would not have been able to restore his true self in front of you, nor would he have brought you into this villa, Bridget said with great certainty. Liu Erlong felt very happy when he heard BG praise her, especially when he heard BG say that Long Xiaoyao liked her. And you also like Xiaoyao, right? Then, BG asked Liu Erlong with a smile. Seeing BG smile, Liu Erlong couldn't lie to BG and nodded directly. She did like Long Xiaoyao. And she also believed that Long Xiaoyao was not a heartless and lustful person who started to get into trouble but eventually gave up. Otherwise, she felt that Long Xiaoyao would definitely not be able to get Biji's love. Isn't that enough? Isn't it natural for me to call you Erlong's sister? You can also call me Sister Bridget, then, BG said with a smile, and then looked at Liu Erlong expectantly. She really wanted to hear Liu Erlong call her Sister BG. Sister BG. Liu Erlong looked at BG's expectant smile and couldn't bear to refuse BG, so he called BG in a low voice. Yes, Sister Erlong. BG smiled and held Liu Erlong's jade hand. When Liu Erlong saw BG smile, he felt that BG was extremely friendly. She had never felt this way before and smiled call out. At this moment, Long Xiaoyao returned to BG and Liu Erlong with ZG in his arms. Long Xiaoyao put ZG on the ground. Beer is so capable. Long Xiaoyao looked at BG and smiled happily. Although he didn't hear what BG and ZG said before, he clearly heard Liu Erlong calling BG to be BG's sister. And when he saw BG and ZG still holding hands and looking at each other with smiles, he knew that BG had probably helped him take down Liu Erlong. I would like to call you the strongest wingman. Long Xiaoyao has made up his mind at this moment. No matter where he goes in the future, he must take BG with him. Because Bridget is not only very capable, she can help him practice medicine, save people, wash and cook, but she can also help him conquer the goddess. Who would he bring if not Bridget? Long Xiaoyao walked towards BG with a smile. BG looked at Long Xiaoyao who was walking towards her with a smile. She knew that Long Xiaoyao was going to give her a princess hug, and she felt very happy and looking forward to it. Plop. Whoosh. Long Xiaoyao walked to BG and without any words, he directly hugged BG in a princess hug, then waved with Suzuka wings and flew into the sky. Being hugged by Long Xiaoyao and flying quickly in the sky, BG felt very comfortable and happy. Although she did not shout excitedly, her face was filled with a happy smile. Bill, Long Xiaoyao called BG while holding BG flying. What happened? Okay, BG heard Long Xiaoyao suddenly calling her, and looked at Long Xiaoyao curiously. But was kissed directly on the mouth by Long Xiaoyao. She was startled, and she couldn't help but let out an imaginative moan. Most men would definitely push BG down after hearing her moans, but Long Xiaoyao, a man who had already pushed BG down, would not do that. However, BG didn't feel uncomfortable or resist. She showed a happy smile and let Long Xiaoyao kiss her. My name is ZG, you can just call me Sister ZG, sister, What's your name? I don't know your name yet. Beside the swimming pool, Ziji came to Liu Erlong and asked Liu Erlong with a familiar smile. After being carried into the sky by Long Xiaoyao and kissed by Long Xiaoyao, Ziji no longer felt jealous of Liu Erlong at all, and she had already recognized Liu Erlong and wanted to get along well with Liu Erlong. Sister Ziji, my name is Liu Erlong. Liu Erlong said directly that after knowing why Ziji was hostile to her just now, after seeing Ziji becoming very friendly now, and after BG's strategy just now, she had already agreed in her heart to pledge herself to Long. Now that she is happy, she also wants to get along well with Ziji. It turns out to be Sister Erlong. How did you meet Xiaoyao? Ziji sat directly with Liu Erlong, close to Liu Erlong's body, her eyes widened. She asked Liu Erlong with a smile. Her eyes were full of curiosity. She was really curious about Long Xiaoyao and Liu Erlong. How did we meet? About 2 hours ago, I was attacked by people from the Haotian sect. Liu Erlong began to tell how she was rescued by Long Xiaoyao. End of this chapter. Chapter 98. Then you won't abandon me in the future? That's it. The people of Haotian sect are so hateful. Xiaoyao is so handsome. After listening to Liu Erlong's narration, Ziji immediately fell into the scene where Long Xiaoyao saved Liu Erlong at the most critical moment. She felt that Long Xiaoyao must have been very handsome at that time. Of course, Ziji thinks that Long Xiaoyao is very handsome now, and he is very handsome at any time. Call out. At this moment, Long Xiaoyao came to Ziji and Liu Erlong with BG in his arms, and gently put BG on the ground. Zir is really capable. Long Xiaoyao saw Ziji and Liu Erlong sitting together and chatting and laughing happily. Knowing that they were getting along well, he smiled happily. I would also like to call you the strongest wingman. Long Xiaoyao felt that he could often take Ziji and Brigitte together in the future. Ziji would be responsible for making jealous faces, while Brigitte would be responsible for comforting the red faces and asking them to help him conquer the goddess. Long Xiaoyao did not take back the Suzaku wings, but walked directly towards Liu Erlong. What does Long Xiaoyao want to do? Is he going to hug me? PFFT, PFFT. Liu Erlong looked at Long Xiaoyao, who was walking straight towards her, and suddenly became nervous and excited. His heartbeat accelerated rapidly. He was very much looking forward to Long Xiaoyao hugging her like BG and Ziji. Ziji saw Long Xiaoyao walking directly towards Liu Erlong, guessed what Long Xiaoyao was planning to do, and stood up from the chair. Plop, call out. What? Long Xiaoyao came to Liu Erlong, hugged Liu Erlong in a princess hug without saying a word, and then waved his Suzaku wings and flew into the sky, which shocked Liu Erlong and couldn't help but say screamed. Only Ziji and BG were left by the swimming pool. However, they were not displeased with Long Xiaoyao picking up Liu Erlong and flying into the sky. Instead, they all smiled. They knew that this was Long Xiaoyao and would not be left out anyone. Sister Biji, let me tell you, Sister Erlong has known Xiaoyao for less than 2 hours. Oh, Sister Erlong was attacked by people from the Haotian sect just now. Immediately afterwards, Ziji came to BG and began to explain what Liu Erlong told her about how she met Long Xiaoyao. How to do. In the sky, Liu Erlong was once again carried by Long Xiaoyao in the princess's arms and flew. He felt more nervous than before and did not dare to look at Long Xiaoyao or the scenery below. Liu Erlong was very torn. She wanted to tell Long Xiaoyao now that she was willing to commit herself to Long Xiaoyao, but she felt that she was not worthy of Long Xiaoyao. She didn't know what to say. Dragon, Long Xiaoyao shouted to Liu Erlong while flying with Liu Erlong in his arms. Liu Erlong was very happy to hear Long Xiaoyao suddenly call her longer, and looked at Long Xiaoyao curiously. Yet, just when Liu Erlong raised her head and turned to Long Xiaoyao, before she could see Long Xiaoyao's face, she was kissed by Long Xiaoyao on the mouth, and she couldn't help but let out a blood-boiling moan. Plop, plop, Liu Erlong's heartbeat became faster. She felt that her heart was about to jump out, and her pretty face turned red like a ripe strawberry. Long Xiaoyao knew that since Liu Erlong had become sisters to BG and Ziji, and they were chatting and laughing happily, it meant that Liu Erlong had agreed to commit herself to him from the bottom of his heart. He knew that there was no need for too many words at this time, and kissing Liu Erlong directly was the best thing to say and the best action. This was Liu Erlong's first kiss, and Long Xiaoyao's kiss was too sudden. Liu Erlong instinctively leaned his head back, and at the same time pushed Long Xiaoyao hard with both hands. But Liu Erlong was hugged and kissed tightly by Long Xiaoyao, and it was impossible for Long Xiaoyao not to kiss her for a while. Seeing that he could not push Long Xiaoyao away, and felt Long Xiaoyao's warmth and sincerity, Liu Erlong no longer resisted and allowed Long Xiaoyao to kiss her, feeling very happy in his heart. Seeing that Liu Erlong only resisted instinctively at first and then stopped resisting, Long Xiaoyao knew that he was right and kissed Liu Erlong wholeheartedly. Hoo-hoo, after kissing Liu Erlong for a while, Long Xiaoyao let go of Liu Erlong's jade lips, and Liu Erlong breathed a sigh of relief. Can I be your woman? Liu Erlong raised his head, staring closely at Long Xiaoyao's eyes with tear-filled eyes, grabbing Long Xiaoyao's clothes, and nervously asked Long Xiaoyao in a low voice, his eyes full of expectation. Liu Erlong has lived a poor life since she was a child, and she has no father, which makes her feel very inferior. Although she seems to be very strong, bold and confident, she is extremely sensitive. She knew that compared with BG and ZG, whether it was beauty, temperament, strength, or even background, she felt that she was completely inferior to BG and ZG. She knew that she couldn't give Long Xiaoyao anything at all. Any help, so she felt that she was not worthy of Long Xiaoyao. But she already likes Long Xiaoyao, BG and ZG, and wants to get along well with him. Of course, it's an honor for me that you are willing to be my woman, Long Xiaoyao said with certainty with a smile. Then you will never abandon me in the future? Liu Erlong asked immediately. She felt that Long Xiaoyao was too good and too powerful. She was very worried that Long Xiaoyao would abandon her in the future and she would follow the same path as her mother. She is even more worried that her children with Long Xiaoyao will follow the same path as her in the future. Of course, I will never abandon you, Long Xiaoyao said affirmatively, and at the same time hugged Liu Erlong tightly into his arms. He knew that the reason why Liu Erlong was like this must be because Liu Erlong's father, Luo Mian, abandoned Liu Erlong. And the only thing he has to do now is to hug Liu Erlong tightly and let Liu Erlong feel his sincerity. Lying in Long Xiaoyao's arms, feeling Long Xiaoyao's sincerity, Liu Erlong nodded, leaving tears of joy and happiness call out. After a while, Long Xiaoyao hugged Liu Erlong and flew back to BG and ZG. He gently put Liu Erlong on the ground and put away the Suzaku wings. Sister Erlong, why are you crying? Did Xiaoyao bully you? Don't be afraid, tell us and we will help you. Seeing that Liu Erlong's eyes were red and there were tears on his face, Bibi and Ziji came to Liu Erlong's side and asked Liu Erlong with concern. No, Xiaoyao didn't bully me, I'm just too happy. Liu Erlong quickly wiped away the tears on his face and said with a smile. Zier, Longer is my woman and your sister from today on. You must take good care of her and don't bully her. Long Xiaoyao smiled and said to BG and ZG. Of course, how could we bully Sister Erlong? BG and ZG nodded affirmatively, and at the same time, they each held one of Liu Erlong's jade hands. Liu Erlong felt very happy. She could feel that Long Xiaoyao, BG and ZG really cared about her, and showed a happy smile. Okay, it's getting late. I'm going to prepare roast bear meat. Come and help me, Long Xiaoyao said with a smile, then took out the body of the explosive bear and started preparing to bake the bear. Great. Xiaoyao, let me help you. ZG immediately became excited and ran to help Long Xiaoyao make roasted bears. Although she had never eaten the roasted bears made by Long Xiaoyao, she believed that the roasted bears made by Long Xiaoyao must be delicious. Sister Erlong, Xiaoyao is the best at cooking. The roasted bears he makes will definitely be delicious. Let's go help Xiaoyao too, Biji smiled and said to Liu Erlong. Liu Erlong nodded and became more expectant. Subsequently, under the command of Long Xiaoyao, the four people began to divide the work and cooperate, and began to dissect and cut the bear meat of the hot bear to prepare roasted bear meat. When Long Xiaoyao said roasted bear, he did not mean roasting the whole bear, as that would not be able to taste well and would take too long. The roasted bear he meant using bear meat to make barbecue. End of this chapter. Chapter 99 Swimsuit? Smell good, Gulu. Time came to the evening. By the swimming pool, Long Xiaoyao, Biji, Ziji and Liu Erlong were sitting around the table. They looked at the barbecue grill, which was already roasting oil, and smelled the fragrant barbecue. The three women swallowed a bear meat with greed. They couldn't wait to have a taste. Gollum. Ziji and Liu Erlong's stomach screamed with greed, and they screamed so loudly that everyone heard them. This was the first time Liu Erlong was like this in front of others. He felt a little shy and his face immediately turned red. Xiaoyao, are you okay yet? We are almost starving to death. Ziji was used to it, because every time Long Xiaoyao prepared dinner, her stomach would growl loudly, and she asked Long Xiaoyao expectantly. Okay, it's cooked and ready to eat. Let's get started, Long Xiaoyao said with a smile. Great, Ziji showed an excited smile, picked up the chopsticks, picked up a piece of barbecue, put it in her mouth and started eating. Yet, it's so delicious. Xiaoyao, you are so awesome. While eating the barbecue, Ziji sincerely praised Long Xiaoyao. At the same time, before swallowing the barbecue in her mouth, she picked up another piece of barbecue and wolfed it down without caring about her image as a lady. Bibi and Liu Erlong also picked up their chopsticks, picked up a piece of barbecue, put it directly into their mouths, and started eating. It's delicious. Bibi and Liu Erlong also praised it sincerely, and then started to wolf down the food regardless of their ladylike image, because they found that the barbecue cooked by Long Xiaoyao was so delicious that they couldn't control their desire to cook. Long Xiaoyao also started eating, and at the same time, he kept adding new bear meat to the barbecue grill. After spending 2 hours, Long Xiaoyao, Bibi, Ziji and Liu Erlong ate up more than, kilograms of explosive bear meat. Finally, they were all full and sat on their chairs without wanting to move. By the way, Longer, aren't you curious about why I can understand the words of the explosive bear? Long Xiaoyao asked Liu Erlong with a smile. Okay, Liu Erlong nodded. Then she remembered that Long Xiaoyao seemed to be able to understand what explosive bear was saying. She was very curious as to why. Because I am both a human and a mythical beast, and Beer and Zir are both human beings who transformed into soul beasts. Beer's body is an emerald swan whose cultivation has reached 50 years, and Zir's body is the Hell Demon Dragon King whose cultivation has reached 20 years, Long Xiaoyao said directly, and also revealed the identities of Bibi and Ziji. What? Liu Erlong was extremely shocked when she heard Long Xiaoyao's words. She never expected that Long Xiaoyao was both a human and a divine beast. Bibi and Ziji were both soul beasts, and they were even more powerful than the 10-year-old soul beasts. Rare 20-year-old soul beasts and 50-year-old soul beasts. Although Liu Erlong felt very unbelievable, she felt that Long Xiaoyao had not lied to her, otherwise Long Xiaoyao would not have been able to make the explosive bear kneel down directly. Now that she knew why Long Xiaoyao wanted her to be his woman, she told her about it, because this was indeed something that no outsider could know. Sister Erlong, don't be afraid. Although Sister Bibi and I are soul beasts, we are both happy women. We will not hurt you. Ziji smiled and assured Liu Erlong that she thought Liu Erlong was afraid of them after knowing their identities. I'm not afraid of Sister Bibi and Sister Ziji. I know you won't hurt me. I just didn't expect you to be spirit beasts at all, Liu Erlong said with certainty. Bibi and Ziji smiled happily when they heard Liu Erlong's answer. Xiaoyao, including Sister Erlong, there are 4 of us now. Shall we go play mahjong? Ziji suggested to Long Xiaoyao that she had long wanted to try playing mahjong, but unfortunately there were only 3 of them, and she had not had the chance to play mahjong in the past few days. Okay, Long Xiaoyao nodded. Ziji had such expectations, how could he not satisfy Ziji? And he wanted to see if his mahjong skills were really bad. The last time he played with Ah Yin, Bibi Dong and Yuena, he didn't mess up any of them at all. Mahjong. When Liu Erlong heard Ziji's words, his face was filled with questions. Mahjong is a game that requires 4 people to play. It's very fun. We will teach you later, Ziji smiled and said to Liu Erlong, then pulled Liu Erlong into the house, started teaching Liu Erlong the rules of playing mahjong, and then started playing mahjong touching yourself. What a fool, ha ha ha. An hour later, Long Xiaoyao touched the, he was waiting for, spread his cards directly, and showed a bright smile. What? Touched yourself again? Bibi, Ziji and Liu Erlong were very surprised when they saw Long Xiaoyao touching himself again. They felt very unbelievable, especially Bibi and Ziji. Because they have been playing for so long, Long Xiaoyao has been playing tricks, and Bibi, Ziji and Liu Erlong have never won a single game. Bibi and Ziji clearly remembered that when Long Xiaoyao was playing mahjong with Ah Yin, Bibi Dong and Liu Erlong a few days ago, Long Xiaoyao had never won a single game. They all thought that Long Xiaoyao was playing mahjong. Very bad, they didn't expect Long Xiaoyao to be so powerful. Long Xiaoyao played a lot of mahjong before he traveled through time. The reason why he was beaten so hard by Yin, Bibi Dong and Yuena was because he didn't know that they could hear his thoughts and knew that he wanted to what card to play. For Long Xiaoyao, BG, ZG and Liu Erlong are just newbies who have just come into contact with mahjong. They don't even know what is better, so how can they beat Long Xiaoyao? Again, I still don't believe it. Am I going to be able to stop messing around tonight? ZG was very angry. She didn't believe that she couldn't compare to Yin, Bibi Dong and Yuena in playing mahjong. Come again. BG and Liu Erlong also said that they did not believe that they would not be able to do anything tonight. 5 barrels, Long Xiaoyao played a 5-cylinder card. I'm crazy. That's great, ZG showed an excited smile, and she finally gave in. 50,000, Long Xiaoyao played a, card. I'm crazy. That's great, Bridget showed an excited smile, and she finally gave in. 8, Long Xiaoyao played another 8. I'm crazy. That's great, Liu Erlong showed an excited smile, and she finally gave in. In the next 3 hours, Long Xiaoyao, BG, ZG and Liu Erlong all went crazy, and they were all very happy. Of course, the reason why BG, ZG and Liu Erlong were able to do this was because Long Xiaoyao had let off steam, and Long Xiaoyao hadn't let them see it yet. After all, having fun alone is not as good as having fun together. BG, ZG and Liu Erlong are Long Xiaoyao's women, how can he not pamper them? Okay, it's getting late. We should go take a shower and go to bed. Let's play again later. Beer, Zier, you take longer to change into a swimsuit. I'll go to the swimming pool and wait for you first, Long Xiaoyao said to BG, ZG and Liu Erlong, and then went directly to the swimming pool with great expectations. Since they got the small villa, Long Xiao, BG and ZG would go to the swimming pool to take a bath together before going to bed these days, which was quite interesting. Swimsuit, Liu Erlong had a question mark on his face. Sister Erlong, come with us. BG and ZG took Liu Erlong to the locker room to change clothes. Sister Bridget, Sister ZG, is this a swimsuit? Isn't it too revealing? Liu Erlong asked BG and ZG in disbelief. She looked at the swimsuits for adult women on the wardrobe. Just the thought of wearing a swimsuit for Long Xiaoyao to see made her extremely shy. How can I take a shower without being exposed? Everyone is on our own after all. Sister Erlong doesn't have to be shy, BG and ZG advised Liu Erlong that when they saw it for the first time a few days ago, they had the same reaction as Liu Erlong. However, under Long Xiaoyao's strong request and persuasion, they still put it on, and they also liked the feeling of wearing a swimsuit and swimming in the swimming pool. They also wanted Liu Erlong to try that feeling. Without saying anything, BG and ZG took Liu Erlong to pick out swimsuits together. Everyone voted, support taking advantage of the situation to overthrow Liu Erlong's deduction, support 2 deductions for future discussion, support BG and ZG to push Liu Erlong down and get 3 deductions. End of this chapter? Chapter 100 Teaching Liu Erlong to Swim. Hush, under the bright moonlight, in the huge swimming pool, Long Xiaoyao was swimming back and forth in a very standard butterfly stroke. The speed was very fast, much faster than the speed of the world butterfly champion. He looked very graceful and handsome. At the same time, BG, ZG and Liu Erlong changed into swimming and walked out of the house. How come Xiaoyao swims like this? He swims so fast. Liu Erlong was a little surprised when she saw Long Xiaoyao swimming butterfly stroke for the first time and swimming so fast. At the same time, she also felt that Long Xiaoyao was so graceful and handsome when swimming like this, and was attracted by Long Xiaoyao. The swimming style that Xiaoyao currently uses is called butterfly stroke. When we girls swim with this swimming style, we can not only burn a lot of calories and prevent us from becoming obese, but we can also fully exercise our bodies and make our bodies more beautiful. BG smiled and explained to Liu Erlong. What are calories? Liu Erlong asked curiously. She had never heard of the term calorie. Calorie is an energy unit. The food we eat all contains different calories. Calorie consumption refers to consuming the calories of the food we eat so that they will not be accumulated in the body and converted into fat, so that we will not become fat. ZG immediately explained to Liu Erlong with a smile. What BG and ZG said was what Long Xiaoyao told them when they swam in the swimming pool for the first time a few days ago. I see. Liu Erlong seemed to understand and nodded. She understood that swimming can lose weight and make the figure more beautiful. She didn't understand much else, but she immediately became interested. Because no girl doesn't want to become more beautiful, and Liu Erlong is no exception. She also wants to have a more graceful figure. Swish. You are here. Long Xiaoyao noticed BG, ZG and Liu Erlong, who had arrived at the swimming pool, jumped out of the swimming pool, landed smoothly in front of them, and greeted them with a smile. At the same time, use both hands to push back the bangs and tidy up the shoulder-length hair. What a big 8-pack abs. For the first time, Liu Erlong saw Long Xiaoyao's 8-pack abs that looked particularly strong under the moonlight. Coupled with Long Xiaoyao's handsome appearance, he was deeply attracted. Liu Erlong couldn't help but stare at Long Xiaoyao's abdominal muscles, and even wanted to touch them. His blood was boiling and his pretty face turned red. This was the first time Liu Erlong saw Long Xiaoyao wearing swimming trunks, and he was attracted by Long Xiaoyao's strong and perfect figure. Although it was not the first time that BG and ZG saw Long Xiaoyao wearing only swimming trunks, they were still attracted. Like Liu Erlong, they were staring at Long Xiaoyao's abdominal muscles and admiring them unscrupulously. Similarly, Long Xiaoyao was also admiring the swimsuits of BG, ZG and Liu Erlong. Brigitte wore a turquoise swimsuit, ZG wore a purple-black swimsuit, and Liu Erlong wore a turquoise swimsuit, which vividly showed off their sexy and perfect figures, and they were all particularly suitable for them. Under the moonlight, the fair skins of BG, ZG and Liu Erlong were as smooth as white jade, looking extremely sexy and charming. Except for Long Xiaoyao, any man who sees BG, ZG and Liu Erlong's current swimsuits will definitely not be able to help but spit out nosebleeds. Long Xiaoyao looked at BG, ZG and Liu Erlong, and his blood boiled a little, but he could still remain rational. Your swimsuits fit you perfectly and you are both beautiful. Long Xiaoyao gave BG, ZG and Liu Erlong a thumbs up and praised them sincerely. BG was very happy when she heard Long Xiaoyao's praise and showed a sweet smile. Of course it is. When ZG heard Long Xiaoyao's compliment, she showed her little tiger teeth and said with a smile, BG and ZG have been swimming with Long Xiaoyao before going to bed for several nights in a row, and they are no longer so shy. Plop, plop. When Liu Erlong heard Long Xiaoyao's compliment, she remembered that she was wearing a swimsuit now, and she couldn't help but stare at Long Xiaoyao's abdominal muscles just now. Her pretty face immediately turned red, and she lowered her head in shyness. Uncontrollably, she covered her body with her jade hands, and her heartbeat accelerated to the point of flying. Liu Erlong felt very happy to be praised by Long Xiaoyao. But this was the first time she wore a swimsuit, and she was looked at by Long Xiaoyao, whom she liked. She felt extremely shy, but she couldn't help but glance at Long Xiaoyao's abs. Longer, can you swim? Long Xiaoyao asked Liu Erlong with a smile. No, Liu Erlong replied softly. Sister Erlong is so cute. BG and ZG smiled when they saw that Liu Erlong was as shy as when they first wore swimsuits for Long Xiaoyao to see a few days ago. Then let me teach you, Long Xiaoyao smiled and said to Liu Erlong. Although he was very shy, Liu Erlong nodded and looked forward to it in his heart. Beer, Zier, you can swim by yourself first. I'll teach Longer how to swim first. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao said to BG and ZG. Okay, BG and ZG said with a smile. PFFT. Then ZG ran directly to the swimming pool, jumped into the swimming pool, and started swimming in the swimming pool. Brigitte followed closely, walked to the swimming pool, jumped into the swimming pool, and started swimming. Let's go. Long Xiaoyao directly took Liu Erlong's hand and led Liu Erlong towards the swimming pool. During this period, Liu Erlong was very shy and did not dare to look directly at Long Xiaoyao. Let's jump in together, Long Xiaoyao smiled and said to Liu Erlong. Seeing Long Xiaoyao's friendly smile and thinking that she was already Long Xiaoyao's woman, Liu Erlong gradually became less shy and nodded. PFFT. Long Xiaoyao took Liu Erlong's hand and jumped into the swimming pool together. The swimming pool is not very deep, only about 1.2 meters, just below Liu Erlong's abdomen. Let's start with the most basic practice of splashing water. Long Xiaoyao took Liu Erlong's two jade hands and said to Liu Erlong with a smile. Slap the water. Liu Erlong had a question mark on his face. That's it. Clap. Long Xiaoyao directly took Liu Erlong's jade hand, buried his head in the water, and vigorously splashed the water with his legs, demonstrating how to slap the water for Liu Erlong. I see. Seeing Long Xiaoyao's demonstration, Liu Erlong nodded. When you practice later, stick your head out like this, and let me take you and swim. Do you understand? Long Xiaoyao stuck his head out, holding Liu Erlong's hand, slapping the water, looking up at Liu Erlong, and said to Liu Erlong, "Okay." Liu Erlong found that Long Xiaoyao was only a few centimeters away from her breasts. He felt very shy and his pretty face turned red, but he still nodded. "Okay, let's get started." Seeing that Liu Erlong understood, Long Xiaoyao stopped the demonstration and stood up directly. "It is good." Liu Erlong nodded and buried himself in the water. Following Long Xiaoyao's demonstration just now, he began to slap the water with his jade legs, and then stuck his head out so close. Liu Erlong looked at Long Xiaoyao's abdominal muscles so close at hand, and suddenly became extremely shy. His pretty face was almost red and bleeding, and the rhythm of her legs was completely messed up. She felt that her nose was very hot. Don't be anxious, take your time, and beat your legs at the same frequency and intensity, so that you can swim smoothly and stably. Long Xiaoyao smiled and guided Liu Erlong. How could he not see that Liu Erlong was shy? Although he wanted to bully Liu Erlong now, he knew that if he teased Liu Erlong now, he would only make Liu Erlong angry. Long was just more shy, so he didn't tease Liu Erlong. Seeing that Long Xiaoyao was not teasing him and was still teaching him patiently, Liu Erlong calmed down and concentrated on learning to swim. "Very well, that's it," Long Xiaoyao praised, then moved his legs, took Liu Erlong's hands, and led Liu Erlong to swim in the water. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's praise, Liu Erlong smiled happily and became more proficient in practice. End of this chapter. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.